warn you guys now if I have to go.
Oh, you gotta go. No worries, no worries. You
No, I
let
was
us
gonna
know,
say if
man.
I step away from my cooking that I'm doing,
Yeah, I see you chefing.
chefing. Yeah, chefing.
And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 46. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. We've got two very special guests, PUBG milestones, December NPD news, Nintendo's mini direct, some breaking Quantum Dream allegations, and a huge Destiny 2 development update to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whose debut at the round table has been long overdue for some time. This Lord is not only an Army veteran, sharpshooter, and protector of the realm in real life. He's also one of the top PvP players in the game and is always willing to help a fellow Channel 5 clan member through any Destiny raid. Introducing the Channel 5 OG and FPS guru, the Lord with the most diabolical laugh in the game, and the defender of all hunters in the Destiny meta, making his debut into the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord Sinister. How you doing, sir?
What up?
Yeah.
I didn't want to jump into his intro and just point out a couple of discrepancies, but I'm just gonna step back and kid that over here. I'm gonna let that rock.
You had your fact checking book. You was ready.
Oh, I was sitting there fact checking, and I checked off a couple of those boxes that didn't go right, but
biting his lips.
Lord Sinister, long overdue. Many. Continue, Lord Sinister. Continue.
Go
so
for that.
all 3 years of doing all that negates.
No. Sinister, we have over 20 years of love, baby. It's just 20 years of love. So I'm not gonna get into our personal on the bad Gigi front, but my to let you know that you're not safe anywhere. You understand?
Lord Ebontis said, "Thank God, Sinister ain't on that connect mic because we all used to suffer in the party chat."
Oh, good Lord.
The chat is lit right now. They welcoming you. A lot of people already know who Lord Sinister is. Like I said, I mean, he's a mainstay in the clan in all different games, and we've been trying to get him for so long. He's more Cognito than Cognito. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have you, Sinister, in the building.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm the nighttime. I'm the middle of the night.
No live stream. And of course, we have a Lord who was no stranger to the ILP and is round table royalty. This Lord has supported the ILP from day one, and I always look forward to breaking bread with him at each and every Guardian Con for spirited gaming and Destiny discussions. Introducing the Nightfall soloist, the Cade 6 stash finder, and fellow Switch Gang member. The Lord who is one of the most positive beacons in the Destiny community and can still chef up some of the best cheesecakes you've ever seen on Twitter. Returning back to the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Ebontis. How you doing, sir?
All doing pretty good. Thank you for the intros. And by the way, yeah, if you haven't got one of those intros before, you can't live up to them. So I appreciate that. But thank you for the intro, and it's always good to be back.
How you been, though? How you been, Lord Ebontis?
It's been a while. Pretty good. Just kind of like everybody else, kind of riding the roller coaster. So it continues to have its ups and downs, to say the absolute least of things.
I hear you, man. Good to have you back. We're gonna get into that Destiny talk much later into the show. Yep. But we got a lot to discuss. So of course, we have the usual suspects at the round table. Our co-host with the co-most will be joining us in progress, courtesy of his spanking new job of employment.
Hope he's still sick.
Hopefully sick so he can agree with Lord King. But of course, we have our most technical gaming Lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, semi-offline profile Illuminati. My man, Lord Sovereign. How you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic, man. Doing great. Have been able to get a little gaming in, finally coming closer to finishing some of these games that I had since November. So, working slowly, but doing good. Looking forward to the long weekend.
No doubt, I hear you. And of course, we have the excess gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions and demands nothing less than that premium experience.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how we doing, sir?
What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody had a glorious week. I had a glorious week. And I just want to say there was no combat sports this weekend, which is really strange. I mean, it was minor combat sports here and there, like a little minor MMA shows.
Going down tonight, though.
What's going down tonight, sir?
Oh, Jeremy Stevens versus Choi. Oh, Lord, that could be fight of the year.
Yeah, is that on Bellator?
No, this is UFC Fight Night tonight. They pushed it because of the long weekend.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, for the free?
Yeah, yeah.
Fox in the chat. What up?
This is Fox Sports 1. Choi had an amazing fight with Cub Swanson last year. I mean, that was like a fight of the year candidate, if not winning fight of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, this is either gonna be a quick knockout or a knockdown, drag out 5 round. So
I look for a knockout, drag out 5 round.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that.
Listen, guys, this is what I'm talking about. See, what y'all don't understand is that these ILP dudes, we talk fighting, we live, eat, and breathe this. So you just think it's just me. It's not. Okay.
I'm going to have you believe it is something that you constructed and we don't talk about.
No, not at all. I am a minor cog in this great machine of ours. So I just want y'all to know. Did you hear the enthusiasm leap out of his throat? Did you hear that?
Oh, but you know, it's not the same without Lord Addict's very condescending voice.
It's true.
With the dog in the middle of it.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out to Lord Drew.
Yes,
that F5 never worked on me, bro. That Twitter fight we had this week, I want you to understand Goldberg still rocks the belt. You never had a win after that. Yeah.
Lord Ebontis, to give you some context, we used to be heavy into the WWF wrestling games back in the day.
Okay.
And we got our boy on Twitter. He used to be a huge Brock Lesnar fan. So like back in those days, like Bontis, he was such a dominant character that when he gets you in your super, it's over. So like you would dread the day when you hear Drew say F5 because you knew
it's over.
So it was 1 year, I believe it was when Goldberg came to the WWE, and he was like a lock character, and I believe Lord Kaibatsu and Lord King made a trade, right?
Right, I had the Rock, and Lord Kaibatsu wanted the Rock because we had drafts. So go ahead.
Shout out to Quantic, WCW, NWO, Revenge is the GOAT. Yes, it is. I feel you. So, but again, this was post. We had to find a wrestling game. Like all the Aki games, they stopped making them. So this was like on Xbox at the time. So they made that fateful trade. Lord Kaibatsu, Lord King, Rock for Goldberg. Right? We gave the most dominant character who terrorized us. Lord King would terrorize us for months with Goldberg. We could not beat him. He would kick out of your super. Like it was such a dominant performance. And then like once he got a hold of Brock, which is Lord Drew's character, like it was, oh my god, it was hilarious, man. Those were memories. So we got him on Twitter, and it was real funny to see them go back and forth, reminiscing on the past.
It was 1 o'clock in the morning. Lord Cognito random tweet that started the mess. So
Lord Fastback in the chat. What's up, man? Long time to see. Good seeing you, everybody in there talking that game and talk. So of course, it's Lord Cognito here, spreading that gaming realness on the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, what you need to hear. So obviously, you know what I'm saying, we got a lot to discuss, but we want to get into what the Lords are playing this week. So let's start with the guests. Let's start with our debut Channel 5 Lord Sinister. What have you been playing this week? A little bit of Fortnite? What you been rocking?
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of Fortnite, a little bit of PUBG, a little bit of the Batman. It was on sale. A little bit of Destiny, because, you know, I never put it down. even when we're in our slump, I don't put it down. It's just... I had to get the stuff done. regardless.
So
So
prophecy's done. You got that Sagira shell.
Get those milestones.
yeah, Sagira shell's done. She's in the bag. She's in the book bag.
There you go.
Lord Dizzy, stop causing trouble with that damn arc. I'm gonna play it with you soon. Don't you? I lost the bet, Lord Dizzy. You don't have to put me on blast. I know.
Tell them I'll be there too.
I got you. I'm trying to get you in probably this week or next week. But I'm sorry, Lord Dizzy.
that arc. He's the only one on my list playing that now.
He will stay the only one on your list playing that now.
Continue. So that's pretty much it.
That's all I've been playing. I just been playing, the casual stuff. I've been here and there trying to catch up.
No doubt, no doubt. Lord Ebontis, what have we been playing this week? Besides Destiny?
Of course, always a little Destiny in there. The videos got to keep going. PUBG is kind of the big one also as well with my new rig. It's
okay.
No.
Any chicken
I got
dinners?
a number 2 recently too, and it's just that's the one that almost pisses you off the most. Number 2 solo hurts. And it was
because you're so close. Like it's
real generous. I had like the upper ground, and it was like me behind a rock and him behind a hill, and it was peak, and I lost. So I was just like, damn. PUBG is good. It's been more kind of digesting kind of the anxiety in the whole community over Destiny 2, and then between that and work, mostly those two, and working on a couple big videos for one, my big PC rig that I built recently. I sent you that picture. So
yeah, I saw it's nice, man.
Yeah,
nice.
So that's been like tweaking and overclocking and benchmarking and all that stuff. So it's been a lot of that too. So
nice. So we got some big things cooking up with that PC setup, that rig setup going on.
Oh yeah, so just kind of going into looking at the Elgato 4K and stuff like that, so it can actually capture the 1440p like in style. So it might have a double PC setup, things like that might be working. So yeah, and PC Destiny 2 it's a different animal. Have you played it?
Yeah, Lord SWAT and Lord King are trying to coerce me with that evil.
You won't go back. You won't go back.
That's why I tell them don't start that rabbit hole. Stay off that rabbit hole.
I'm purposely trying to stay ignorant. Like I'm purpose because I know what's
like I believe you. Yeah, you're gonna want to be like, oh, how do I make this happen? Where's my wallet? Just take it. Just take the wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different game on there, but I mean PC in general. So like PUBG's running about as good as it can. I've got Assassin's Creed that kind of came with when I was buying the parts. So I've got that one to kind of work through. It came for free, and then picked up the Division a little bit because it was on sale. So I was going to jump back in and check that out a little bit.
Huge update for the Division I heard too, which everybody's saying really positive things.
It's really good too.
So, I don't know like if it's going to completely fix it, but yeah, it's like it was worth checking out since it was like $25 for the whole thing on a Steam sale. So I was like, sure.
Gotcha, no doubt. Lord Sovereign, what have we been touching this week?
Let me see. So on Switch, I picked up. I have a thing for Picross games. I have a huge. I love Picross games. So they had a Pick Deluxe. I picked that up because that's perfect on the go. I have hey, I love Picross.
I'm not saying anything. I just chuckled to myself. Okay.
And I picked up Meat Boy, Super Meat Boy, because that to me that's the perfect place to play that game.
For the 5th time.
You know what? I picked it up at launch on the 360, and I never really played it because it's just like I played a little bit. I was like, oh, it's cool, but those games I never really wanted to play on my TV. So now I have the perfect place to play them. We'll get into that in a little while. So that's the perfect place for Meat Boy. And let me see. Now on console, I just been trying to get through that Wolfenstein.
Nice.
That game goes places. Oh Lord, that game goes places.
So I'm assuming you're after that part which is pretty changing in the narrative.
Yeah, that was an O-ish part.
Yes. Yes, Leonard Eggman told me about that part when I got to. I mean, he didn't tell me about it, but he told me I would get to a part that it would literally flip the game over. So
it does that, and then after that, it really, really goes left in some crazy directions. But to me, the coolest part about it is the interactions between the characters. The characters are so well written and so deep. Like you care about them. You really care about the characters, what's going on with them. And that's what surprised me most about the New Order when it came out. I was like, wow, these characters are really fleshed out, and they just continued it. So I can't wait to finish it. Hopefully, finish it within the next couple of days.
Nice. Lord King, what have we been touching this week?
Okay, PUBG got my chicken dinner.
I know, especially with the subject matter we got covered up about what people been touching.
Yeah. So
Quantic dreams.
yeah. So yeah, I got my chicken dinner this week. It felt fantastic.
Wait,
Yeah.
who was the squad? Who was the squad?
It was me, Mason, and a random.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it was me, Mason, and random, and it just went down. We definitely held it down. Mason went down. He was the last person, well, the first person in our squad to go down, and it was me and the random just holding down the situation. And
Nice.
it got to a point where we just kind of worked it out in the bushes. And the random knew about some weird rock, and we weren't in chat with each other, but we was like some body code. We went back to back. It was just, and then we finally hooked up in the chat with the random after the fact, and I just met a new friend on Xbox. It was just PUBG.
Nice.
Destiny, you know that Wolfenstein. I finished.
You started? Well, you finished it?
Yeah,
Wow,
I'm a beast mode. Beast mode.
Wow.
Wow.
Let me explain. If you have an Xbox One X, if you have an Xbox, if you have a PlayStation, if you have a Pro, if you have a PC, buy the game. It's a game that one child someplace, it's going to change their life. All right, it's going to be some child is going to pick that game up. This is a note in gaming history where a child is going to get a different perspective on life, and he's going to get courage from the game because the game is going to give him courage to confront certain things in life. This game goes in places where movies goes, where book goes, where deep conversations go. I'm so proud as a gamer to have played the game, to play it all the way through. I actually watched the credits roll because I wanted to give the just due to every last person who had anything to do with this game on any level.
Facts.
I wanted to sit there and watch their names be rolled up because they deserve that much, from the musical score to the graphics to the content to the delivery. And like you said, the interaction in between each character is so beautiful and so done well that you wouldn't believe this came from a mindless first-person bitmap.
Yeah, to know the history of Wolfenstein, right? To
Right.
see where it's evolved to. Like, it's pretty. Look at Lord Anchorman in the chase. I've been telling you dudes before. Look at Lord saying, praise Todd Howe, praise God Howe. And they in the chat.
Yes, this is true. Anchorman, Bethesda took a stance, and I'm pretty sure that the corporate dude is like, we won't go there. We won't go there. And I'm glad as a gaming community, we're moving forward. Please buy Detroit. Please buy these games that are pushing these boundaries. I've also started Zero Horizon Dawn or Horizon Zero Dawn, whatever.
You did not just call
again.
that game Zero Horizon.
Yeah, because it's zero.
He's not sick anymore. He's not sick, y'all.
He's not sick anymore. He's going at me. He's going at me. I gotta send a package with a little flu inside for him.
That student fed that Mucinex kicked in, boy. He's
yeah. Damn it! Why did I give him the remedy? But because that game also attacks some biasness and stuff like that kids may confront during life. So, trust me, this game is definitely worth whatever you pay for it.
Absolutely, it is a fantastic game. Completely agree. Lord Addict, what's going on? The co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict. What have you been playing, sir?
PUBG.
Yeah. Nothing but PUBG all day, every day?
Yeah, I've been playing it a lot. Like I have like 7 chicken wing dinners.
So I was about to, you threw your chest out real strong. He said 7. But yeah, I just got 1. I felt good.
I almost got 2 yesterday back to back, but some dude had a sniper on the ridge that, like, me and Timmy just could not leave the house. Like, he had us.
No, what's the squad? Is it Lord Jansen, Lord John? What's the squad?
I played with Jansen. Me and John almost got a couple, but it's mainly been me, Timmy, and Timmy's friend.
Okay, all right, blazing the cross.
Timmy, I seen Timmy like lay out 3 or 4 people with a pistol.
No doubt, that's what's up. PUBG's out here, man. I respect that. Yeah, for me, Lord Cognito here. It's actually been there's a lot of stuff going on in the personal life. I got funerals and stuff to take care of, so it's been a little rough. But just trying to. I've been in my Lord Sovereign bag, like kind of the offline Illuminati single player mode.
Yeah.
So actually I jumped in your bag. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I haven't been too social still to everything get straightened out. But I actually been going through my PS4 backlog, and I actually started the actual Street Fighter 5. I was attacking that, touched that for the first. Stop laughing, okay? I touched that. It was on
board game for the checkerboard system.
It was real nice, but it's exclusive. It's exclusive to the PS4. So I wanted to see how that was, and I was having fun with that. Some weird little character who looks like Strider Hyrule from like the 8-bit Genesis game, but he's like old. And then when you play with him, he's got a move that makes him young, like a Ninja Strider. I don't know, some weird character. I forgot his name. I was playing with him. And then actually, y'all gonna laugh. I was touching No Man's Sky for the first time.
It's way better.
Yeah. I've been touching that for the first, just to see what it was about. Like I said, I never got a chance to pick it up and play it. The sale, like I said, was not that long ago, right after the Video Game Awards. It was like really cheap. So I said, let me do that. You know, Xbox, I still haven't got a chance to touch the PUBG since the latest update. There's been a lot going on, but I'll get to that. And Destiny 2, I've been messing around. I'm a little disappointed ever since Mayhem left Ebontis. So Mayhem,
man, I know. Oh
yeah,
just leave it in there. So much fun.
I know. And I had so much fun in PvP, just doing my own thing and being able to roam around with my super and not have to follow the team. And it just, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be, go nut a little bit. Like old Destiny 1, where you don't have to follow Sinister everywhere. You don't have to follow all that. I can do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I could shine. So I missed that.
Everybody had a chance to sign. It wasn't everybody got their supers at the same time, but we can save this for later. So
yeah, we're gonna get into it.
It's like that's a can of worms. That's a big can.
You're right.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
I didn't play Mayhem in Destiny 2. Everyone gets their super at the same time.
No. Normally in Crucible, like everybody tends to get it around the same time in a normal match. In Crucible, it's just coming up in Mayhem, it's coming up all the time. So they're just all over the place. And it was honestly a ton of fun. That was
I thought that was a cooler concept. Everyone get their super at the same time. Imagine how many Nova Bombs are going to clash together.
It was. He didn't play.
Lord, when I know you've been on your Destiny strike, but that was the funnest period of Destiny when the Dawning happened. They had Mayhem, and they made you do it as part of the quest line for the Dawning every day when you logged in or every reset. It was so much fun, man. I was rocking my Skull of Dire Armakara so I can get more Nova Bombs. I was having fun, man. Sinister,
I actually switched to the Warlock to do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Shout out to Fox Bomber in the chat. Yes, No Man's Sky. I did love it. I was enjoying that, having a good time with that. So and then for the Switch, y'all see me, man. This is the Police is a long game. I'm past the 100 game.
I've been meaning to ask you about that game because you've been posting some pretty disturbing things. Like
is this the Switch game? This Police Switch game you're talking about?
Yes.
That's how I love about this.
Yo, he posted. He said, "We have him here. He said something about interrogations. He's too tough to interrogate. Let the beatings begin, or something to that effect. That he was going to beat and torture his war criminal." So it was crazy.
Let me tell you, the game is introducing mechanics. I'm like 3/4 of the way into the game. They introduced mechanics I've never seen before. So I'm like. Normally, when you do a police investigation, it's like the dude on the bottom level, he's like the low level street guy. You try to get him to snitch, and then he'll give up people who who go up the ladder till you get to the actual crime boss, crime head. But this time it was like, yeah, he's not cooperating. So you want to interrogate? And I was like, what? And then they had like all these different levels of shock torture, waterboarding, physical. I was like, what is this game? And then
I still don't know how this game is on Switch.
That's Ebontis. That's why I love this game. Like the fact that Nintendo co-signed this. Shout out to Weapy Studios. We reached out. They reached back out to me. We're gonna have them on shortly. We'll let the Lords know because I have to talk to them about the writing, and I got to talk to them about the pitch to the Nintendo Switch indie team and how they were able to successfully pull this off. Because to me, it's criminal.
Hey, Dark Souls is coming to the Switch. Everything is available now.
True.
Dark Souls is like gory, but man, this game is just like hitting on a different level. Some of that stuff you post is I'm just like, how are you playing this on Nintendo? Who is Nintendo? Who are you?
It's a random Cognito tweet at 2:00 in the morning.
And people, I do my Switch After Dark tweets. And people are like, what are you playing? What is that?
There's
I
moral.
think every time I see one of those.
Absolutely.
Moral depravity.
So that's pretty much what it is. We're gonna get into the poll.
Cobb, real quick. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention one thing that I'm playing, and I want to talk about it quick because
sure, absolutely. Go for it.
It comes out in 2 weeks. I was in the open beta for Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Ooh.
Oh my lord! Listen, I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in years. I don't know what's going on in the lore. I don't know what the hell has happened. I really don't. But I've always been a fan.
Shit is going on in that show.
Exactly. So I don't even want to try to touch that. But just from an aesthetic point of view, the fact that its arc system works making this game, these guys know how to make fighting games. For years, I've always felt like when you talk about Blaze Blue, you talk about Guilty Gear, and these games have always been like, in terms of style, in terms of aesthetic, in terms of like systems, in a lot of ways, they kind of beat Street Fighter and Capcom. Like they're more interesting. They're more interesting, and they've taken Dragon Ball Universe. This game is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Be prepared for a Guilty Gear versus Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my lord!
Now here's the thing, Lord Soft. Now I'm hearing some bad things about the servers, though.
Okay, I'm going to be 100. I've gotten in. I have not been able to have a versus match so far.
Yeah, like people talk about they can't even get in, and they worry because this thing releases in like what, 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, so they're worried about that. It could just be, super server overload. People want to get in on that. Like, it's kind of crazy. There are a lot of people online. That said, it's a little disturbing that people cannot get into fight. So hopefully they rectify that. But I was able to play at least the training mode, which lets you get in there and touch the game and see it. So this is where my experience is coming from. I got to tell you, man, like they get it down, pat. It is such a gorgeous game to play. Systems wise, like all the supers and everything just looks so much like the show. If you're a fan of this, if you're just a fan of pretty games, like it's one of those games you can't really overlook. It's that pretty. And it plays beautifully. So it's going to be a matter of, for me, like if the story mode is cool, and what sort of stuff they get into. And from what I've been seeing in trailers, like they're really getting into, they really going to give you like the short version of what's been happening in the actual story. So if you're kind of behind on that, you'll get a version of that.
No doubt.
And hopefully the online end holds up. Because the game is gorgeous.
Yeah, the game looks good, man. Shout out to Microsoft for actually doing a promo on that and getting that on their stage. That's kind of big for them from a Japanese standpoint. And yeah, the game looks good. Let's see. So let's get into it. We got the poll results from last week. They're in, and the people have spoken to the question. In the current resolution era of gaming, with 1080p versus 720p, and now true 4K versus dynamic checkerboarding 4K, are gaming executives wrong for engaging their fan base on social media with these subjects? The winner at 46% in a very funny three-way ILP poll is the no. It's all marketing by execs. Why are you mad? Group. Coming in at a surprising second place at 28% was the I don't care, my side always wins group. So the shallow gamers were definitely in the building for the second place one. And at third place at 26% was the yes, it's done in bad taste by executives, that executives need to do better. So thanks to all who participated in last week's poll. What do the Lords think about this? Let's start with our guest, Lord Sinister. What do you feel about this? You feel, execs Mikey Barra and Phil and these guys and Aaron Greenberg shouldn't be hyping up the resolution gate?
They got to do their good job. That's what I got to say. They got to do their job, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop just because people are upset. They got to market it. They got to sell. They got to make their money.
No doubt. The people seem to agree. Lord Ebontis, what do you feel about this whole resolution era and executives getting hands on social media?
I kind of took the words out of my mouth there, but it's like, they're still there to sell a product. They have a business to do. So, just the fact that if they have something that they can push, say it's Xbox One X is like native 4K over the checkerboarding or vice versa, whatever you're going to do. That's their turn. It's like, do I think for them to get in there? Honestly, it's refreshing because to see executives actually say things, same as like separate example, but like, of Christopher Barrett, a game director, saying pretty like candid things on Twitter about a game when they say like, hey, we tried this thing, it was buggy, we're trying something else. Most people are not that candid. So honestly, I just appreciate the honesty and openness of any of all this stuff. I'd rather have more of that in the future. So bring it on.
No doubt. Any other Lords want to chime in before we move on about that poll? Are we good?
Yeah, I appreciate. I agree with Ebontis. I appreciate the fact that some developers take the opportunity to be able to talk more candidly about their games, which is something we don't see. We never really see. But the 4K talk and stuff, that is marketing stuff, and that is their job, and it's their job to get you interested in, whatever the company line is at the moment. I hear people like be upset at like, Aaron Greenberg, like he's such a shill, like he's paid to be a shill. Like
that is his job. I know. Yeah,
it's in the job description.
Exactly.
Yeah, to shill.
It's the shill. That's Jeff Bro. That's my boy, man. Come on, man.
It's the truth. Like, I'm sure he's very enthusiastic about what he does. He loves it. But at the same time, it is his job to make sure he's enthusiastic. The moment he's not enthusiastic about it, he needs to look for another job.
True, then we have a problem with the marketing department. No doubt. Look, King, you good on this? Or shall we move on?
I'm good because it takes me into places with friends I got. So,
you know where to go. All right, so we're gonna jump into these topics, but we got a new segment fresh off the presses, breaking news that actually debuted this morning, and definitely wanted to address it. Shout out to Lord Samuel Tolbert, a couple other people who brought it to my attention, or Tim Dog, also the Super Deformed Gamecast crew. Check them out too. They had a good show, I believe it was Thursday with Blossom Tales Dev. But needless to say, this one is a little interesting. This is from Quantic Dream, and if you don't know, those are the guys that are developers behind Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and the upcoming game that I'm excited about, Detroit Becomes Human. So it looks like what's up, Marcel? You said something?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay, I thought it was
that was the Addict.
Oh, okay, that's Addict. So, yeah, so pretty much, it looks like they're the devs have been accused of inappropriate behavior, overworking staff, colluding, or at least turning a blind eye to a schoolboy culture involving sexist and racist jokes. So for their part, it looks like Cage and I can't pronounce this guy's. I'm just gonna say Guillaume. Can't pronounce his last name. He's the other dev. It looks like they deny all the allegations, saying that they're very surprised and shocked by this. And it looks like there's a whole bunch of Photoshop images that were leaking out there. A lot of crazy stuff with a lot of people who worked on the game and collaborators in sexual positions, homophobic sexual slurs, even made up to look like Nazis. So this is running rampant. Obviously, it's a very controversial subject. And I know we've had this discussion before on ILP, where we talked about, what do we feel if a game developer, you know what I'm saying? Look, I know you're ready, you're chopping. I know. If a game developer, for somebody that you like, we've had this poll before, where they do something, or you hear something unethical or sexual or something to that effect about said game, would this prevent us, from buying the game? And I know this is especially interesting to me. It hits home for me because as y'all know, I'm a huge Detroit Became Human fan. I'm a fanboy for that game. That's probably one of my
fan of the city in general.
Yeah.
You said Detroit, you can keep Detroit, bro.
Detroit's really becoming human now. So as y'all know, I'm a huge fanboy for this game. It's one of my most anticipated PlayStation titles, next to like God of War and Shenmue. So I'm gonna bring this to the round table now that we hear this stuff about Quantic Dream and these allegations. Normally I would give it to my guest first, but I'm gonna give it to Lord King. I think Lord King has a lot to say about allegations and things of this nature. Lord King.
Listen, man. Like I said before, I said it a million times. You vote with your wallet. You go inside the store. Like if you feel appalled by certain things, if you have been a subject of being ridiculed and you're being tortured in a manner that you feel that these people is being tortured, listen. They were in a work environment. The work environment was kind of lackadaisical. This is what I'm taking from the situation. I did not work there. This is all alleged. And they had jokes. You have your little frat groups. You have your little groups that you sit down, you make jokes. We make jokes inside our gaming rooms. They're in a gaming environment, so I don't think it's anything different. They're maturing the game as it goes along. So they're having the same conversations we're having. They're doing the same things that we're doing. And if somebody takes offense to certain things, like certain people get pointed out and get picked out to be joked upon, to be trolled upon. It used to be a rite of passage before that you made it out of the joke and you made it out of the trolling. Like, remember that joke that we had? Now these dudes got these tiki torches out here and they're like, stop trolling me. And they get a group of other trollers that don't want to be trolled. And they're just sitting there like, we're going to rage against the machine. Everything is a problem. It's not a problem.
Okay, let me ask you this quick question before I give it to the rest of the Lord. Also, obviously they're trying to say that these two at the top are kind of providing like this very this negative culture and like hitting also is all besides the emails that went out. And again, this is like a you funny. This is for us like an email that was internal among the collaborators on the game. There was also allegations of these guys at the top targeting former employees with sleazy behavior, hitting on staff, pushing physical kisses on them. And the only reason why I brought this up is because Lord Kaibash was in the chat, and we're big fans of Marvel Heroes, right? And Marvel Heroes, as you know, came out. It was on PC for so long. We've been praying for the day it comes to console. It comes to console, we're all happy, and then all of a sudden the development on the game stops, and next thing you know, the game shut down. So we start, me and Kaibash would do some digging, and it come to find out the guy on the top is like making sexual things and doing stuff and hitting.
Let me ask you a question.
It was a scam.
And this is what I'm tired of, right? Is the guy on top ugly?
I cannot comment on that.
Okay, all right. So this is where I'm gonna go with it, and I'm sick and tired of this right now. I don't hear nobody sitting here talking about Tom Cruise, or anybody that is considered handsome. He touched me inappropriately.
Before you could
go ahead, because Harvey Weinstein is ugly as it gets, and they keep going that way. The uglies.
What I'm about to say.
What I'm about to say is that pretty people are not getting called out. All these ugly dudes is getting called out. So I'm really feeling that this dude is really ugly at the top, because had he looked like Brad Pitt or somebody, nobody is squealing. All right, so stop it. All right,
the question is this, though, which is where I wanted to go with. I understand what your handsome versus ugly argument. Where I wanted to go with it was that, like, is it fair that collaborators on a game who worked and put a lot of hours on a game, like something like Detroit, Heavy Rain, all these games, right? And then they find out that the top, the heads, are actually the ones that are engaging in. Is it fair to penalize the whole studio? Is it something that's like, no, I don't want anything to do with them, the whole game as a fact? So, like, where are you at with that, and where the rest of the Lord's at with that?
I'm by Detroit.
let's start. Let's get you in.
Listen, I mean, I don't think it's fair to penalize the entire studio, because there's people that are having these issues are the ones that have worked on this game or are working on this game. I think you get to a certain point where David Cage maybe needs to reevaluate who's in front of this game, and who, when their interviews going down and whatnot, maybe he needs to take a step back and work on what's wrong with this studio at a fundamental level, not worried about being the face of it, and maybe put these other people that are deserving up front and handle those underlying issues. I'm gonna say this right now, like, we can make jokes in our groups, and that's one thing. When you talk about a professional work environment, I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
That has no place there. It has no place there. And it's the sexism, it's the harassment, and it's the racism as well. Because it's not only just a sexual thing.
It's racist stuff too.
It's racist stuff too. So no one, I know, I would.
Remember the Sony email jokes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody didn't go see Spider-Man. Everybody lined up for Spider-Man.
That's a good point. Nobody said they were buying the PS4.
I know, right? And all these PlayStation 4s are selling with this faked outrage, fanned outrage.
I will say this, Lord King's point is, we can't. Well, this one wasn't sexual. The loot box thing wasn't sexual, but we remember when Star Wars came under fire, we thought for sure that was going to hit, and then lo and behold, NPD came around. Star Wars is right up there. We're like, wow. So, Lord Addict, let's get you in. Yeah, you at with this?
What's to get in? Like there's nothing. Like, what, as much as I hate to say it, these people can say what. It depends on who it is. Like, you got to have a certain card to get away with some dumb shit. Okay, like if I don't know what's a bad game. If the people who made Just Cause came out and said some racist slurs and saying white people are all like, I don't know, like, I ain't even really going into that, but like it's whatever. It's like, even if they did it, I'm like, I don't even care. But like, so someone like Bethesda came out there and said, like, it called me every white racial slur you could think of. I'm like, well, I'm still buying you games.
All right, so let's play devil's advocate, Lord Addict. What would it take then for you to not buy a game from a studio?
That's crazy.
That's the question. Like, what's the line drawn for you?
Are they allowed to physically come here and put harm to my family?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So if you bump into David Cage at the show, and then
and you know, if they came in here and like, you know, if they came over here and like pimp slapped my brother a few dozen times, like I still might buy that game.
Oh my god!
It's like I said before. It's got the proceeds got to go to the Church of Satan.
My god!
Children working on the game, like 23 hours a day, 1 hour of sleep. Like it's like you know that type of thing. Like no, it has to be something like that. Again, like they represent some organization that is hell bent on murdering Puerto Ricans. Like. Maybe I don't buy the game. Like
maybe if the whole company was like that, and that's one person.
Well, they say
like,
that this was the atmosphere. These are the two top guys. These are the Quantum Dream.
Game is being purchased, man.
Are we that shallow? Hold on.
Yes, we are.
Let's get our guests. Let's get Lord Ebontis in here. Lord Ebontis, where are you at with this whole thing? He's going silent. He's going dark.
Because he's silent because he know he buying Destiny.
What about Lord Sinister? What about Lord Sinister? What about Lord Sinister?
Let's get Lord Ebontis back. Lord Sinister, where you at?
I'm exactly where Room is. Depends how thick-skinned or how thin-skinned you are. If you could give it out and you could take it.
I got one for you.
If you in a party with if you in a party of Iron Lord podcast people on Xbox, none of this is affecting you because
let me ask Lord Sinister this. And again, I don't apologies to anyone in the chat. I'm not trying to make this political, right? Lord Sinister, I know how you feel. You served your country. You're very passionate, about patriotism. And when you see things in misjustice, obviously, we know you don't agree with certain aspects of that president. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Now let's come to find. I'm just gonna throw out this is wild hypothetical. Now let's just say that a game that you love, like this, or some new game that you're really passionate about, you come to find out that the proceeds are going there, or he said the person that you don't like, this figure, presidential figure, is behind this, is co-signing this. Will you not purchase that game?
It depends on
if it's a great game, like King said. If the dude's pretty, ain't nobody saying shit. That said president is ugly as shit, so everybody's saying everything.
The ILP podcast has 80 morals that they will not buy.
Thank you. No, I'm telling you, man, it's not just me, and people gonna stop this right now, man.
No, to be completely honest,
technically, we don't even know if some of these proceeds are going to that person.
This is what we're talking about here. Like, how do we officially know this?
Everybody hating on Xbox, everybody hating on PC. Everything's going to Microsoft. All that money's going over there, regardless.
Like imagine like the Square Enix people coming out and saying, that Japanese developer saying, I don't like anyone that's not Asian. I want to genocide the rest of the population. Yeah. And then they're like, but this Final Fantasy VII tomorrow. It's like, well, we know you can't do that, so let me count to 7 and you shut up.
You know what? Let me stop because I hear somebody standing on a little moral high horse over here. Mr. Cognito, are you buying Detroit, sir?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. That's enough said. And topic closed.
No, I'm very curious as to.
Listen, we all feel the same exact way. I mean, it's hypocrisy at its finest. Nothing is going to stop you from doing and engaging in what you want to engage with. I don't care what is attached to. Trust me when I tell you this. I don't buy Timberland sneakers because of something that the Timberland owner said against minorities.
Right? And now, Lord King, remember also, it's funny you said that. Remember when Cristal came out, right? And Cristal was like, yo, we don't really appreciate the urban markets, You know,
and we won't be drinking
Tommy
that over here.
Hilfiger
I will
and all
get
that
my
shit.
Ciroc. I will get my Ciroc here, sir.
Mhm.
But if they had the special cranberry juice flavor that is only exclusive to them, and they got cranberry juice, and it tastes like I can't imagine, I'm going to have to buy some Fiscal.
Shout out to Lady Fox Barber. She said, "Oh, I'm still gonna play."
Between those analogies, the difference between those analogies is there's not two different Skyrims. There's one Skyrim you could buy. There's multiple different brands of shoes you can wear. Sure, they're different a little bit, but there's not like a North American Skyrim, a South American Skyrim. It's like, the North American one dude said some dumb shit. I'm gonna
Lord Ebontis, I hear you laughing. Are you back, sir? Is Lord Ebontis back?
No, he's making a cake. He's making a cake.
Okay. So when he's finished with the cheesecake, I gotta get his view on this, man. That's crazy.
Hey, your view is a little skewed because that this is the police game. When it made me had to make the choice between working with the mafia because the police station, the government wanted me to get the black people out of the precinct, and I had to set them up, and I had to turn off the game after that. I was like,
"Are you serious?"
I had to in order to get rid of the black people, I had to send one black detective and 3 black cops into a setup for them to die. Then I had no black people, and then both sides were happy. That was the only way I could make that happen.
Time out. And we're over here talking about this is actual content here, fellas.
This is content in the game. He's praising. He's praising this game.
All right, okay.
It was amazing. The developer of what you're telling people to do that.
Our morals are on loan. And we're loaning them out to everybody that want to use them.
I'm just reporting on the narrative in said game.
That game is out of control. If it's asking you to set up a certain particular race of individuals,
no, they said to fire them, but instead of firing them, I was like,
"You want to kill them?
If I fire them, I lose like a standing with my people, so I gotta like figure out a way." And the only way to do it was talk to the mafia, set up a hit, a fake scandal shit, and then have a certain minority group to go over there.
You guys want to know the most jacked up thing about this whole thing is? We'll boycott for loot crates, but we won't boycott for like legit.
Who won't boycott for loot crates? I'm for loot crates. I'm for loot crates. I'm not boycotting anything. But listen, I'm gonna tell you, to be honest with you, I'm really not boycotting anything. All right, so I really don't really care, to be honest with you. If I want to buy the game, I don't care what they're doing. I'm gonna buy the game.
Saying you was boycotting like 3 things a couple minutes ago.
Oh no, you're talking about sneakers. No, you're talking about you're talking about if I'm walking around wearing your brand and I'm promoting your brand. I'm playing your game in the comfort of my home. Nobody's seeing what I'm doing.
Ebontis is back. Ebontis, I see you said you're back in the chat.
Yep, sorry.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I needed you to see if maybe I could get a little voice of reason or just your impression.
No, let me
I feel like I missed a lot.
Yes, all right. So
true or false?
Go ahead.
True or false? If someone came out and said some crazy stuff at Bungie about racial things, offended everyone you know, everyone you love, but they're like, but that Destiny 3 dropping next week, would you buy it?
Would you buy it? So basically what's happened, Lord Ebontis, is that David Cage and Quantum Dream have been accused of all this inappropriate behavior at the staff. These are the people who are making Detroit Became Human. These are the ones that made Heavy Rain. Okay, so basically it's this whole leak coming out with images, very sexual, very racially charged images. Also, they've been one of them has actually been accused of actually physically hitting on employees, sleazy behavior, parties and hitting on the staff at parties and pushing kisses on them and stuff like that. Now, the devs have come out and denied it. They've said that nothing has happened at this, that someone's making this up, but obviously it's allegations in the early stage. So what we bring in to you, Lord Ebontis, is if your favorite game, or in this case, with Quantum Dream, if this happens to you, because we had this ILP poll before and it was charged up, right?
Okay, let me ask this. Is it fact or allegation?
Right now it's allegation.
Okay.
It's allegation. But let's just say Deej, Christopher Barrett, they get caught out there accusing of groping up, whoever at the Bungie functions. let's just say that. Let's apply this to Bungie, which we know is your heart. Would that stop you from picking up Destiny 3?
I guess it would also depend on the action Bungie took and if there was proof. Like if Bungie was like, okay, they're out, then somebody above them.
No,
like,
let's say they're not
actions.
out. Let's say they're not out. Let's say they just be like, whatever. Let's just say they be like, whatever,
like,
and the
whatever.
game drop. Let's say they say, yeah, they touched them. Game drops Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
If they
just
touch
like
them,
that,
give them the jail time. It's like that sexual assault on them.
Shout out to Lord Sam. He said it's partial allegation, but the images have been released. They're real images.
No, let's just say it's fact. It's not even allegation. Let's just say it's fact. Let's just say it's
fact. Send them to jail.
Game come out Tuesday. Are you online on Tuesday or Wednesday? What day you gonna
lock them up? We're still playing the game. Lock them up.
I just want to know what day you're gonna go pick your game up. They're not locking nobody up. They're not doing anything.
Then he must have paid somebody off, and obviously, if they're willing to take the money, they're willing to shut up.
No, see, this is Ebontis. This is my whole thing to it, right? Nobody is saying when Tom Cruise goes around and kisses people on the cheek inside the club. Back when he was younger, you know, nobody says anything. You know, when Tom goes around, wow, when he's at the height of his risky business. Remember that? So nobody say anything when he's at the height of his risky business. Maybe people might complain now with his old body now, but I'm talking about then. You know, risky business
now.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, nobody's saying anything when it's the handsome person doing it. But when these ugly people is out here forcing themselves on people, oh, this is outrage. It's outrage. But handsome people get away with certain things. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It's feign hate or outrage. Stop. Because these people are right, but you keep saying. Yeah. Ask him. He's gonna buy the game.
I need your answer, Lord Ebontis.
This is a rough one. Like if it was just in the moment at that point. I mean, if I'd already pre-ordered.
He's getting weak. He's getting weak.
That's my man right there. That's all I want to say. That's my man right there.
What about this? What about like?
Okay, I guess. Oh, let me state this. Bungie's a 500-person studio.
Okay. Yes.
There's 497 other people within that studio
what I was gonna say.
that worked their ass off.
You read my mind. You read my mind.
Everything that they had
read my mind and what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's the point where it's like, that's why it was like when you say if they're not going to do anything, it's like, do I agree with what those decisions are? But do I want to support a studio where there's 497 other people that do amazing things and there's 3 decisions I don't agree with? That's where I'm torn because. There are good things. It's like, from a corporate side, do you agree with these pieces? And that's why it's like, it's a tough thing. It's like, do I want to enjoy the game that all these other people did extreme work on? But do I support like the crap that they're doing? Never. Of course not. I mean,
shout out to
there's so much on the White House like lawn that is.
Thank you.
Shout out to Lord Ebontis. He said all opinions expressed on the ILP are not necessarily the opinions of everyone associated with the show.
Especially Lord King.
Listen, I don't want anybody to sit there and run behind me when I'm running through the fire. Allow me to get through the fire on my own. But I do say this. Y'all thinking it.
Okay, so I missed it. So were you guys just like, if it comes out on Tuesday, I'm canceling it, I'm done? Were you guys saying that?
I'm not doing that.
In agreement with you. I mean, I'm still picking up Detroit.
Everybody's
the way I look at it from this again, this is just my moral compass. The way I look at it is that, okay, I'm not going to penalize the actions, for the whole entire studio that worked on the game. Now, yes, they are at the top. We can't deny that. The 2 that are being accused.
It could be a 2-man team. I'm still gonna buy the game.
These are allegations. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lord Sam in the chat. He's like, I'm not telling anyone to buy, not to buy, but just not to pretend it's a small issue. Completely not trying to pretend it's a small issue. This is a very big issue, and no one's trying to minimize.
No, it's not a small. That's why I said if it's true, lock them up.
Right.
Don't behind bars.
Like those 2 should be penalized. Right, but at the same time, what I'm trying to get at is that there's this culture, and this is where I agree with Lord King. There's this culture because you morally disagree with the actions of people in a company, that because they choose to boycott said product, that they try to guilt you also into boycotting said product. And you can't do that. If someone wants to buy, it's the same thing with the loot crates. It's the same thing with innuendo. If you want to buy it, that's your choice. You know what I'm saying? But you have to respect it as far as both sides. That's all I was pretty much getting.
Yeah, so you got to respect it on both ends. And also, listen, when you're not in a situation and something's being told to you, or you've read something on a piece of paper, it sounds a lot more horrible when you read something or you hear it secondhand than it's actually in the moment or whatever happens. You understand? So we don't know really in what context certain things was being said, and in what context certain things was being done. We weren't there, and unless you look at a videotape or something, to be honest with you, it's really dirty and it's really mucky. But if you're asking my personal opinion, I'm buying Detroit, and I'm probably gonna get the DLC now just because
I'm done with you. And on that note, so I'm glad we had some honest talk with the Lords. We got
sorry, a little sidebar here. It's just kind of one of those things, like the stuff about Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, go for it.
Completely. Like, I was like, so that's like a tough one. Then you had the stuff like Louis C.K. come out and all that stuff.
Oh, okay, no. See, one thing I must say this. Children and people that are not able to consent to anything, that's a crime, and they should be locked up. 100%. I'm down with locking them up. People that cannot defend themselves and people that are being raped and stuff is being forced upon them, lock them up.
So if they found that out, but you still gonna buy that game though?
Oh no. Listen. I'll be the first one to stand right there. Listen, I'm still gonna buy that damn game. But Listen, I'll be the first one inside the courtroom, like, lock him up. If I saw it, lock him up, please. But let me get my DLC, please. Lock him up.
Shout out to Lord Dizzy, because he's like a wild card from ARC supported bad practices. I'm looking away and pretending like I ain't. Yo, I respect the honesty, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Anchorman, so what about Stan Lee though? This is real talk. Like,
nah, that's where it stops. Because Stan don't do anything wrong. Stan is God. So y'all gonna cut this out now. Y'all gonna stop this now. We're like, all right, let's get to the next topic. We ain't gonna do that to Stan. This is not that chat room where it's gonna happen at. Not on Stan. It ain't happening with Stan. Y'all gonna walk away from this right now. And this is where I draw the line. Y'all gonna stop this.
Lord Ebontis, are you good on this subject? You see like you had more to say before.
No. I mean, I was just. Yeah, like the topic can keep going, and it's just kind of there are different degrees and things like that and variations, and none of us are there. And when allegations come up later on, it's like, there's so many variants to this. And but then you see on Twitter, it's like somebody's like, well,
we'll hear it when Tom Cruise is like 80.
But I mean, it's also a piece where you see on Twitter girls like, well, this is the reason why people don't come out, when it's like somebody who accused, I forget what politician, then all of a sudden her house is set on fire and there's like an arson investigation. You're like, that's why they don't come out about it. So there's so much when you're not in the circle. It's like, until all the facts are out, that's why it's hard. Allegations are annoying because the internet's full of BS. So
no, even though the pictures are out there, shout out to Los Angeles. But we're gonna move on because we're going on for a long time. That was a bonus one. I had to throw it on. It was hot off the presses, breaking news. But we're gonna move this thing on. Lord Addict. Xbox got some things to be feeling good about. PUBG, what's going on?
He said it was lit.
Yes. So since me and you may return to Lord sleep for a little bit. We haven't called him that in a while. Looks like PUBG passes 3 million players on Xbox One. And Aaron Greenberg was one of the first to put this out there. His chest was out very strong this week, by the way. He had a lot of interesting tweets this week.
I'm not going into that.
Yeah, I know. We ain't gonna go into that. But he's definitely out there busting his Twitter gun heavy in these streets. So it looks like the team, they continue to improve the in-game experience. They're shout out to Lord Addict. He's coming back. His computer's forcing update. Yeah, I had that thing happen to me too. It's crazy. Windows tried to force an update. I think that meltdown thing is going around, so they're trying to get people to restart their computers.
I'll be back up and running in the chat room next week, guys. Sorry.
No. But back to the subject at hand with PUBG. Yeah, so it looks like I said, because it debuted in the Xbox One preview program, it's been a huge success, the growing community and so on and so forth. And I just want to bring this to the Lords. This is Addict's topic in reference to PUBG passing 3 million players on Xbox One. Lord Ebontis, how do you feel about it?
I mean, hey, congrats. I mean, more power to him. I enjoy the game. It's kind of it's a unique animal, and obviously it's kind of set wildfire to the gaming community of everybody's going to try and copy it. Paladins has theirs coming next, and more people come. So I have an issue, like the whole hero shooter thing breaks, I think, this whole idea of like everybody's the same and you find your looting stuff. But no, I mean, the success is really cool. From what I've heard on normal Xbox, though, it's garbage. Now, has the patch like made no, just like the game itself is the game, but just the feel of the game is regular Xbox still just the trash that I heard about?
Yes.
Yeah, regular X. Yeah, it's a little rough, but I mean, shout out to a lot of people I know. We're gonna get a little Sinister in because he's using that as well. He's using that as well. But I've heard that the improvements have been tremendous since. You know what I'm saying? But again, I did hear obviously it's the lowest.
So I'm on the S. I'm on the S. I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you out there, bro.
But I did play it on the original, and it was choppy and it was horrible when gunfights. I was clipping through shit, and it was bad.
See, that's kind of
but
where
the S is way better, and the updates they've been doing has been fixing a lot of the problems.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean the updates are good, but it's also just like, you know, they wanted this out before the holidays. So I mean, when you played the game first on your S before the patches came out, and you spent $30 and you log in, you're like, is this really what I got? I mean, is there any pullback to say it's like on PC the thing had been going for 9 months, and I was honestly it's not a perfect game on PC by any means, but when you're going to send it out onto a console, which is basically a verified market of games are supposed to run on console, they don't typically release broken stuff. Okay, let me retract that. That's a dumb statement. They do release
I was about to say, I was about to go.
No. But I mean, to the level of like, this is almost Mass Effect broken level to a point of map loading, frame rates, and things like that.
Yes.
When you're going to release a game and somebody picks this up for the first time and they're like, yeah, they got their money, but do you think it's fair to the consumer to release a game, even if they're, you know, they know their stuff coming out later? Is that fair when they know it's early? Yeah, but it's pretty trashy early from when it really came out.
We should have had you go for the early access topic.
I'm willing to debate you in this because when you're going through the checkpoints to the game, I don't know if you played the game on Xbox yet, but as you're going through the checkpoints to the game to load in the game and all that other stuff, they're giving you a warning. This game is in beta. This game is in beta. This game is in beta
at this point.
Yeah, if you've purchased it, you can return it. If you digitally purchase, you can call Microsoft and say this game is broken, I don't like it, and you can return it.
I mean, if that's an option, then yeah, that takes.
Yeah, it's always an option. Yeah. Microsoft, you can do that with all Microsoft games. You can return them, especially digital games. That is the best thing. Microsoft is great at that. They will delete that joint right off of your hard drive, and your money will be right back in your account. They do it with no problem. My thing is, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, it's like overall for the game, getting out to more people. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the experience of PUBG, especially if they can refine it to where it's playable, even if the resolution's not that great.
Right.
It's a unique animal out there, and the more people can get their hands on it, and the more people that you can try and describe, like trying to put PUBG into words to somebody who's hard, like just played shooting, it is hard to put into words. And I've even thought about doing a video, like just a 5-minute video. What is this game? I'm like, it's really hard to put into words. Let me show you. And it's like you could spend 10 minutes looting, get shot in the back of the head, and you're like, crap, I want to do it, and I want to do it again, and you're like, I don't know why. So you get to play it, honestly, like that's cool. I just hope it, you know, they kind of pick up some of the stuff. So Xbox, just I feel like as broken as some of it was before, the OG systems of PS4 and Xbox, they're not built to really handle what it's trying to do. I don't know if they're ever going to be at the level of somebody would get to experience if they sat down on my PC in the other room and they'd be like, this is a different game. Like, so I mean, the more people that get the experiences, but yeah. That's all.
Yep, absolutely. Lord, actually, Sinister. I want to get
Lord
him.
Addict just jumped in.
Oh, Addict's back?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, Addict, can you hear us? I know you had a big update to your PC. Yeah, he's still maybe going through the update process. Lord Sinister, what do you feel the success of PUBG?
And it's been a great success. You know, that and Fortnite. I play them both, and I love them both. They're both great. Got a few chicken dinners
in the back of the head. Okay, trust me when I tell you this. Did it to me already.
You just put that out there.
Yeah, team kill Sinister.
If you had to put it into short words, it's a looter shooter survival. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And technically, you won't even get shot in the back of the head. I could just, you know, knock you out with a pan.
Oh my god!
Listen, do not team up with him. He's looter shooter. He kills
the first time we played, you know, he ran up on me and shot me, and I shot him back.
Lying. He died. He's lying.
I got the video to prove it.
He's telling you that you don't lie. I was inside.
He thought he could be ugly on me and shoot me, and I wasn't gonna turn around and shoot back, and I shot back and killed him.
Well, listen, what happened is I said, I shot you by mistake, and he unloaded his clip. All right, so you know,
That's how he get down.
That's like one of them dudes in the hood run up on you. Oh, I shot you by mistake. My bad. Like I'm not gonna shoot you back if I got a gun on me. If I'm dying, you die with me.
Yeah, he wasn't even dying. It's like I grazed him, and then he decided to end my life.
So needless to say, you've been enjoying.
Don't shoot at a gangster. That's the moral of the day.
You've been enjoying your PUBG experience. You've been trolling Lord Big Bad John. I told everybody last week what you did. You told him to get in the bathtub and strip him of all his items.
Oh my god!
Because you heard bombing and the man did it.
Yeah, the red zone bombing. Told everybody get in a house because this was the first time he was playing, so he didn't know what was going on. I'm like, get in the bathroom if you want to survive. Get in the tub. Get in the tub. I said, now take off all your clothes.
And literally, Lord John did all of this, and we're in tears, laughing as Sinister is flying to this man, telling him things he has to do during the bomb.
Nah, he did it all but the take off my clothes thing.
He figured it out by then. We know that. He felt violated by then. He was already laying in the tub with his clothes on.
So wrong.
So violated. Lord Addict, you are back with your topic. PUBG 3 Milli on Xbox. The success. How do you feel?
I just want to know, like, how many times did I say I told you so? Like,
yeah, a lot of people have been fighting you, right? A lot of people have been saying it's not going to be like you have had your chest out from day one with PUBG as far as it being a success, as far as it being Xbox being a home for shooters.
I have people on Planet Xbox in the comment section call me a corporate slave because of it.
Just because you predicted it would be successful?
No, just because I told people, Lord Addict on here and Gaming Addict on there.
Yeah, that's two different days.
Yeah. So like, I was just like, look, like people can sit there, they can try to say that I'm like, I'm making categories for Xbox gamers, but at the end of the day, what is the one thing that Xbox keeps trying to do this gen but fell at? Making single player games. What's the one things that they have done that sold well? The multiplayer games that they backed up.
Yep, and me and you have talked ad nauseum when we heard about PUBG and how it's perfect for the ecosystem. The multiplayer just screams an Xbox game.
If there's any game Microsoft needs to purchase, it's this game.
It's this one. Yeah, we did say that. No doubt. You've been sticking to your guns. It's good to see your rewards paying off. Let's get Lord Sarv and Lord King finish this thing up with PUBG success.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising at all. Like, the moment that game sold 1 million copies in 48 hours, I knew that's what this was going to happen. I knew the player base was going to continue to rise. They've had 5 updates since the game came out. 5 updates already. In the game, honestly, it's still choppy in the lobby area, it's still choppy jumping out of the plane. But once you hit the ground, the game's fairly smooth. Like, and that's where that's where the money's made right there. And the game is very close to what you would be playing on PC, say for the 60 frames per second stuff. So again, the fun of the game, even day one, was still there. And I said that when we first talked about it, I said, guys who've been playing on the PC, I get it. We get it. We understand why this game has been such a phenomenon. And that has still translated to the Xbox One. So it's not surprising, and I see that number just continue to go up.
No doubt, Lord King, PUBG, the success.
I'm just loving it. I take it in small doses because the level of frustration and angst that you have in that game is enough to stop your heart.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane the level of anxiety you feel. See, I was playing a solo mission yesterday by myself. No, actually, it was this morning when I came in from work. I said, let me jump on real quick. Let me see, because the tryhards ain't on yet.
That's never the case.
I know the tryhards is always on, boy. Yeah. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm parachuting down into the facility. I went to the school. I look over, the most horrifying feeling that you can see is somebody parachuting with you.
Yes. Yes.
You know what the funny?
So I said to myself, well, I got to fight this dude. I know I'm going to fight him. I got to fight him. Right, so I have on shout out to Plantronics with the Dolby Atmos 800 rigs that I'm wearing.
Can hear ridiculous amounts of shit.
Brother, I hear them up in the bathroom to the right, messing with the door handle. Okay, thank you. Y'all got me my chicken dinner.
I was at the very top stairs in the apartment complex. And you got to keep in mind there's like 6 floors of this thing.
Yep.
And I was at the adjacent angle of the staircase, and I was crouched because like 5 people went in there at me because I was the only one alive. How about I heard where they were at all times in that room when I was sitting there with that shotgun pointed at that door. I heard what direction they were coming from. I heard that like 2 or 3 were a couple floors below me. I heard one person was the floor right below me and one was in the hallway to the left of me.
Shout out to Dolby Atmos and the
listen.
If you're
playing, yes,
because my wife was watching me and she saw me just open a door and shoot out of a bush. And she was like, "How'd you know he was there?" I said, "I heard him."
If you're playing this game on a sound bar,
shameless plug. What headset were you using?
Tell them
the Rig 600.
Woo! Let's go.
Listen, if you're playing it on a sound bar with a surround system, you're doing yourself a disservice. This game needs to be played with the headphones on. All right, you need to be in an isolation type of situation so you can hear everything. Like you can hear people creeping up behind you in the grass.
Yes.
You need this level of immersion in this game because it's necessary to survive. If somebody tells you that you will have super hearing in the world of survival, you will take it, right? So trust me when I'm telling you, if you had a bad experience with the game, try it again with headphones on an X, not a regular system.
John was in a 2nd floor story building once, and he was in the back behind these books, this like bookshelf. And I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, he's right beside, he's in the hallway, John. It's like, I don't hear this. He's like, he's coming. Trust me. Don't not listen to me, John. And I was like, aim down the room. And he like not even
jump in the tub, John.
Shout out to Lord Big Fat John for being this one. On this, I mean, you know what's funny? Ebontis actually made a good point. It's like when John actually jumped in the chat, I was trying to explain to him why PUBG is so crazy. He didn't have the game.
It was a hard sell and it was an easy sell at the same time.
It was a hard sell. I said, look, we're going to launch this game. It's going to probably look like the worst game you've ever seen. I said, it's going to look like a PS2/PS3 game. But I said, John, when I tell you right now, it is the most fun, most addicting game I've played in a long time. So we squatted up, parachuted down, and immediately across like a riverbank, we see like 4 people in a shootout. I'm like, yo, get down. They over there. They busting off over it. It's crazy. I said, we cannot go over there. We got to get weapons. We just got pistols. Let them go. You know? So we're sitting there with Lou, and I can hear John's excitement. Like, yo, I love this game. This game is crazy.
Hold on, I need to show you guys something. John killed Code Eastwood.
Like, yeah, you told us last time.
I have a screenshot. I'll share it here.
Oh, you trying to put Code? Shout out to Code Eastwood.
Man, I'm not co-signing this code.
I'm not co-signing this code, but you know, Lord Addict definitely wants to talk about this.
Yeah, he wants to put you out there.
Let me know when you're ready to present, Lord
Addict. You was sponge worthy. So he said he's a human sponge, Cole. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Cody Sports. Shout out to the RDX podcast. I listen to those guys all.
Yeah, man. You know those Iron Lord bullets is real. Sorry, Cole. Hot ones from the Iron Lord. Oh, my bad. Bang, bang. Get down and lay down, Cole.
Yeah, that's a joke. Anyway, we gonna move on to the
see, Cole kicked him.
We gonna move on since he can't find it.
Oh, he's back.
And we got a lot of stuff to discuss, talk about. So,
let's get to the stuff.
Lord King, the December NPD might have been leaked.
Ooh, child.
What do you have to say about this? Let's go.
All right, so. All right. Some people in this room said something about my good friend Aaron Greenberg. Aaron, I like to thank you for putting it out there. What went down with the NPDs? For his tweet was beautiful. It was kind of poetic. It was nice. He didn't go at Nintendo. This allows me to believe that Nintendo and Microsoft is working on their chat. This is what makes me believe that.
Please, I hope that rule is true.
Because you know why? He said 8th gen, so it wasn't anything disparaging pointed towards the Switch. He said that Microsoft came in the highest MPDs of December ever, and it outbeat the PlayStation 4. As Switch won December, all right, and the console being sold in North America. This lends credence to my conspiracy theory on PlayStation lying with November. The reason why I say that PlayStation and Sony has fudged the numbers in November is because when you lose November, it seems like you're losing. That may turn the tide. They may make people say, no, they're no longer the winning team. Let me get on this winning train right over here because, Microsoft might be, doing this, or Switch might be doing this. If Switch has won every month since they came out, they lost November. Why is that? That's kind of weird, right? But they win December. Microsoft.
So this goes back into your theory because you're saying this is how it should have been all along. Is basically what you're saying.
I'm just saying. Something looks kind of stink. If you've been losing this whole time, you've getting your butts cleaned every month. Then all of a sudden, the most important quote, I got air quotes going up, guys. The most important month where the world is watching, you pull out a victory. And then you go right back to losing. Come on, man. Did he steroid up that month? Is it obvious to you or me? Listen, man, I'm trying to tell you you know what? They should have been smart. They should have won October and November and then just eked out December and then go back to losing for the rest of the year. But no, they lost all those months and then win November and then lose December.
Lord Addict, our second member of the Illuminati Lords. You have something else to say about this?
I support everything he just said.
Oh my God!
Oh, the picture! Ooh, the picture! Ooh!
Yeah, go ahead and show it.
Oh my Lord!
The picture! Ooh, the picture!
I want to state that mine and Sinister's bum asses, like, we're down, both of us. Sinister's to the left, and I'm down. And John at the top killed All Day Digital and Code Eastwood back to back in the house to the right.
Wow! See, yep, I see. You got Big Man Joe All Day. Shout out to the RDX, man. That's what's up. They ILP and RDX is in a party and a game together. See, that's what I want. Ultimately, I want these guys to be able to have 100-man servers where we can pick who we want from our entire friend list. Like, let's get this Azure thing popping, right? If that's the partnership with Microsoft, that to me will make PUBG like really great. Back on track with the other subject.
Oh yes, time out real quick. Did anybody else other than myself get the PUBG survey from Microsoft?
I did not. What did they ask you?
Oh, they asked me everything about the game. They asked me everything from how do I like certain aspects of the game. They asked me what did I think about the graphics. Was the game worth the purchase? What didn't I like about the game? Was the game too hard? Was it this? Was it that? I told them the input lag was the biggest problem that I was having with certain things. Trust me. I honestly believe that they're in a position to purchase this game and not let this game get to PlayStation in any form or fashion.
No, that we'll see. I mean, it would be a big get for them to really secure it. Lord Sinister, what do we feel about the NPD results? So it looks like Xbox One outsold PS4 in December, but Switch outsold all the overall units. So what do you feel?
I'm not a fan of Sony.
You put your bias out there.
I knew Switch was doing good. Switch gang. Everybody's playing. I love what they're doing with they're trying to go along the Xbox ways and bring some of the older games for the Wii U up to date. So it's sort of the same path of like Game Pass, but they're trying to sell each game individual, whatever. They're getting there. They're getting there, dude.
I respect that. Lord Saab and Lord Ebontis, I need your opinions on the December NPD leak in reference to Switch probably winning and Xbox outselling PlayStation 4 for the month of December.
Yeah, I mean, I expected Switch to kind of make a rebound and come back. I mean, a lot of those, those a lot of Switches under the Christmas tree, so that I expected a lot of that. For Microsoft, I think it's good. I think it's good to go into January with some momentum. Just have these numbers under their belt saying that they're selling well, that the X is selling well. And to me, what it signals is that they need to start talking about more clearly what's coming. Like you already had Nintendo with a Direct. Sony's already put out there, what's going. They need to start talking about stuff beyond Sea of Thieves. Everybody's. I got into the Sea of Thieves. The
closed beta thing.
The closed beta thing, yeah, with the pre-order and whatnot. So I'll be playing that, I guess, within the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
But yeah, they need to start. They need to start talking about what's coming and get people excited. So
I agree. I definitely agree. Lord Ebontis, what do you feel about these NPD numbers?
I mean, honestly, happy for him. Like in the grand scheme of for the Switch, it's awesome. That has been a awesome console to see do what nobody thought it would do, and just the fact that it's done that. And honestly, hey, if Xbox won it, is there are you wondering if it's real or not, or is just more the fact that they won it?
Well, Lord King has his theory about November.
Oh, I was like, that's what I tuned into first. I'm if they want it or not, then hey, it's like if they get a good month for him.
No, I believe Microsoft beat whoever. I don't believe Sony's numbers in November. That's my position on it.
We know how you feel. You would love that.
It's all good. It's like for sales. Hey, the more is out there, and honestly, if Xbox gets a little closer to PlayStation anyway, hopefully that just pushes PlayStation a little bit more, and they both push each other. Like the more competition in the market, especially with Nintendo now being that outside force, they're always kind of the odd egg in the basket, but you got to look at them because they're always doing something that a fair amount of people want to look at. So. Yeah, it's like the more the merrier in all this, and I'm happy to see Nintendo successful. So
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I thought when the numbers came out, and shout out to the Brat podcast and Matt Piscatella and those guys. They put that out there a little early, and actually Aaron Greenberg was the one that put it out early in response to our boy Puerto Rock. He busted the gun a little early on him. But he just let him know. But he was honest in that Switch did win, even though Xbox also PS4. This is good for the industry. I think this is good. I want to shout out NLG Mike Mullis, Lord Mullis, because he made a tweet and I actually retweeted it, and it's kind of interesting for Xbox to win that because over PlayStation in the sense that it coincides what game released that month. Right?
Exactly. Yeah,
it's PUBG. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be a correlation, and hopefully. Microsoft can really start paying attention to that. And again, I know a lot of people feel like exclusives don't matter, but at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's just like, look, we cannot deny the effect PUBG had on Xbox One X.
When did they start bundling it with the system with the X?
It was, what's funny? I remember it. It was like December 17th to like the 20 something because Mark Smooth, my cousin, he got his Xbox One X right then, and he got PUBG for free.
Okay, yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, it's one of those things that you got to look at it like this is an early access game that moved consoles. Like it moved consoles on its own, in addition to getting packed in at the midway point of the month. It's one of those things like they need to really understand the impact of this game, and hopefully, like we've been saying, like if they're in a position to pick this up and keep it in-house, they need to keep that.
3 million, it's not even I mean we're like a full month from release. Like that's insane.
Yeah,
in a shorter period of time, and look how successful it is. So yeah, it's interesting. So we are going to move on unless any of the lords got anything left to say on the NPD. All right,
Sony's lying.
Yes, the Illuminati lords have spoken. So we're gonna move this over to Lord Sovereign. There was a mini from Nintendo that's snuck.
There goes Cognito messing up names again of the lords.
There's like 7 lords with S's in it. Go ahead, Lord Storm. They messing with an old lord over here, the young bucks.
Yeah, trying. But Yeah, there was a lot of speculation about what was going to happen in January. People were talking about there's going to be a direct, there's not a direct. Nintendo was mum the whole time. And on the 11th, this past Thursday, they dropped a direct mini, and that's exactly what it was. It was a 14-minute quick rundown of probably what we can expect in the first quarter, right? Some of the stuff we can expect in the first quarter of this year. So let's just run down what they brought out. They brought out some Wii U games that we knew were probably coming. Anything that wasn't as successful as they would have liked on the Wii U is coming to the Switch. That's a guarantee. As a guarantee. So we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze coming. The definitive version of that game coming to the Switch, and that's fantastic because I had kind of given up on my Switch by that time. I did not play it. So it's fantastic.
I had a Wii U and I didn't even play it.
Yeah.
I got the game on Wii U and it's phenomenal, and I'll be buying it again on Switch.
Is that the one where they got the cool one with the on the side of the game box? Yeah,
Funky Kong.
Yeah.
He's on a surfboard.
Yes.
Yeah,
I saw the Doom account tweet that and put the Donkey Kong thing on their game. It was funny.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so that's awesome. It only sold worldwide something like maybe 1.5 million copies.
Wow.
So you're looking at minimum another 500,000 copies on Switch, if not much more. And I'm being conservative.
It's gonna sell too.
Same thing. Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors was on the Wii U. And I believe they had a version.
Tired of everyone Jack and Dynasty Warriors formula.
Yeah, but that's huge out there. Trust me, I can't stand them games either. But
I wanted it on Switch anyway, so I'm happy that it's doing it.
It's huge, man. For some reason, that game. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
And we're getting more Breath of the Wild themed stuff for that. So I mean, they're giving you the game, they're improving upon it, and then they're giving you more stuff to kind of, they leans into what the Switch has been up until this point, giving you Breath of the Wild stuff. So again, it's if you haven't played the game, you never picked it up, it's fantastic to have it on the go now, right? So let's see. In terms of ports now, we're getting The World Ends With You. It's a 10-year-old 3DS game, a DS game actually. It's a Square Enix RPG. It's kind of rhythm based in terms of the combat. It's kind of quirky, but it was very well received. And that's another game that I think total might have sold maybe close to 1 million copies. That's 10 years ago. This is the game, again, you put it out on the Switch. You have over 10 million Switches out in the wild now. It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell.
I want them to give me Bravery Default 1 and 2.
Probably will. I guarantee you, at some point we're going to see the Bravely Default series on there. We're probably going to see the latest Metroid on there. We're going to see A Link Between Worlds on there. It's coming. It's all coming, and I'm happy for it. Bring it all. Bring it all. Give me everything.
You're going to get everything but Virtual Console.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
For some reason, I don't see A Link Between Worlds.
What else are we getting? Okay, so and then we're getting the new East game. The East game that came out last year on PS4 and it came out on Vita and it came out on PC. It's finally coming to the Switch. And again, like a lot of people, I fell off playing my Vita. Vita was a fantastic little console. These are the type of games I don't really want to play on my big console. They'll probably fall to the wayside. So having something on the Switch, it's going to get the play that it deserves. So
JRPGs and indies, baby.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, this is where they belong. To me, this is where they belong. All right, so we have that. We have some DLC coming for Mario Rabbids. We're finally getting Donkey Kong and Mario Rabbids.
Cool. Is that paid, Lord Saab? Is that?
I believe there is some pack. There is some sort of premium pack.
I don't know if I'm gonna have to pay for Donkey Kong.
I'm buying him. I'm buying him straight out.
Yes, and we know you're gonna get the amiibo too.
Oh yeah. if they have amiibos that work for that, I don't think they have amiibos that work for that.
That's a good point. I haven't seen any amiibos for.
No, not one for Mario Rabbids. I'm kind of mad because the whole marketability of the rabbits will lend to more amiibos.
True.
Where are these amiibos, bro? Come on, let's go.
I can see the disgusted Lord Addict's face right now.
Yeah, that's nice. But I can see Lord Brat. I can see Lord Brat smiling because I'm rooting for more amiibos. Come on, give me those amiibos.
Like exclusive level to get pissed Lord Addict off a little bit more.
But you notice his sickness has allowed him this new year. I've loved Addict this new year. This is you know what? I swear this is fantastic.
Like we back to the rest of the years. Like I'm confused on that.
No, we back on our Tango and Cash ish. It's me and you, baby.
Continue, Lord Saul, with this
So to finish out the DLC stuff, we're getting a new character for Pokken Tournament. If you pick that up, again, Pokken Tournament was a game that didn't necessarily appeal to me, but I played it at E3 and it was a very cool game. I'm not quite sure how well it did on the Wii U, but again, it can't hurt porting it to the, having ported it to the Switch and now getting more characters and more modes in the definitive version.
I want a Mario Party.
Yeah, they need one.
Yeah, they need that.
They absolutely need one.
They announced the tennis, right?
Oh, this is the thing. Okay, so let's get into the new stuff, and then we'll finish off with Dark Souls. We'll finish off with that. But to the new stuff that's been announced. Okay, so we got a date for Kirby Star Allies, and that again, Kirby's always had more of a younger lean to it. But I think, like I talked about, there's a lot of switches on the Christmas trees this year. So now it's more than just the hardcore who purchased in March. Now we have the kids really on this system now. So you need to put games out that kind of draw them in. They gave you the Dragon Quest Builders demo, which is basically Minecraft in the Dragon Quest world, and it works. It works. It is a fantastic type of that game. So that's going to be big for them. Kirby Star Allies is going to be big for them with the younger audience. What was the other? Mario Tennis is another game. Again, with Mario Tennis, it's a brand new Mario Tennis.
I never played these joints, and I was like, Mario Tennis look kind of.
Mario Tennis has always been fun.
And they had like a story mode.
I don't care about Mario Tennis. Where's Mario Golf?
Oh my god.
Either or though. Mario Golf is the game.
Bowling back.
If you don't like golf, you'll love golf after playing a Mario Golf game. And the same with tennis. It makes them fun.
I just like that it had a story mode. It looked very intuitive. Like it wasn't just verses. Like it looked like it really.
You know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for the new games called ARMS from Nintendo. When is that coming out?
I guess when it comes out.
I know, right?
So we got so I'm looking forward to that tennis. That would be the first kind of single player story mode in a Mario Tennis game since like Mario Advance, Tennis Advance, like the Game Boy Advance, something like that. So it's been a long time, and people have been asking for it. So it's good that we're finally getting something a deeper.
Hold on. I gotta interrupt you there.
Good.
When you say quote unquote, people has been asking for, who's been asking for a Mario Tennis game?
People who love the Mario like me.
Why don't you?
I want to see it because we missing the YouTube stuff.
Why don't you show me one video where someone dedicated the?
I'm missing the tennis for when people get smacked in the face and they used to throw the controller at the TV. Those vines ain't out there anymore.
Okay, continue, Saul. I just wanted to clarify.
Just because you're part.
I just wanted to clarify and be on record that Lord Addict was not asking for
the
tennis.
hater brigade. Just because you're part of the hater brigade.
Mario sports games are fun. Done.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
Shout out, Lil Kai. Addict's World.
Addict's World. Exactly. If Addict don't like it.
It doesn't exist.
The world don't like it.
Listen, y'all not gonna get that from me this year. I officially retired that. Y'all gonna stop going at my boy. Y'all gonna let that go.
See, I don't like this new friendship y'all got. We gotta bring 2017 back with the beef.
Yeah, for real. We gotta have beef.
I love it. I love it.
An Addict tag team. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this at all. So we're getting that. They have a new SNK fighting game with just the women from the SNK.
It looked like hot trash.
This is the funny thing though. Like I was talking about, like a lot of children and younger people finally getting Switches. The game itself, it brings in, so it's obviously going to appeal to girls, to young girls. In terms of the way it plays, it's not like a difficult fighting game. Like it's one of those one fighting games. So when I first saw it, I was disgusted. But then thinking about it, I said, "Yeah, I mean, it's got to do. It's not talking to us. It's talking to a different section of the Wii.
I don't know who that game is talking to, but
I want to see. I want to see how it sells because it might be interesting. Like who picks up this game? Like really, like young girls. Even just younger boys, like. So
what you're trying to say that young girls can't have complicated fighting control mechanisms?
Not that they can't, or they would not like to play those games. But Some don't. Some don't. You know, it's like
one button control scheme, and they was touting it like it's the new feature that's popping up in 2018.
That's what disgusted me. I was like, you know what? SNK games are some of the deepest fighting games
out there. Lady Fox Bob is asking, what's the name of this game? That's the SNK. What is it?
It is SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy.
Yeah. Yo, and then
it kind of looks like a Final Fantasy Street Fighter Tekken.
It's a mashup. It's a mashup. And then it says, and after you die, your hit points ain't the only thing that can save you. Like, after they take away your hit points, there's other things that you could do to continue to fight. I said, wow, they really dumbing the game down for women trying to act like women can't play Tekken or Street Fighter.
That was the political statement.
Yo, you know what? As a man, I don't think women should be demeaned in this fact. I think all the women should take their tiki torches and go at this game. Because this game,
they try to make it sexist.
It's a sexist game.
The controls.
Women can only use one button. Come on, man. No.
Continue, Lord.
So yeah, listen, again, it's
moving on. All right,
it's talking to a different perspective gamer. We'll see how it does. All right, so now on the indie front, we're getting Faye and we're getting Celeste.
Yes,
Faye is good.
Yeah, Faye is one of those incubator games from EA. The EA originals, the same thing they brought up. What was it, Yarny? So it looks fantastic, and again, it's a game that on my home console, it probably is not getting the burn that it should. So I'm picking it up on the Switch. It's an action adventure game. Seems kind of like a platformer. Same with Celeste. Celeste seems like it's more in the old school vein. It seems like there's a mechanic where you stick to the walls and slide down the walls and stuff like that. So again, it's a game that's perfect.
Yeah, shout out to Lord, what you call it, Lord Quenio. He said Faye made by Zonk. He's waiting for flipping death.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. Continue. That's absolutely what it is. Like in the Meat Boy vein. That's one of those type of games. And then we finish off with the big one. We're getting Dark Souls, the remastered version on the go.
Remastered version. That's good.
Listen, I didn't play the original Dark Souls on 360 when it first came out. I think I talked about this way back where I said at the point I was in my life, I don't think I had the patience to really want to play that game. So I immediately sort of disregarded it. I said, I'm not going to be able to get into this game. And then once it came to back compat, I said, you know what? Let me try this out. And I sat there and I played good 6-7 hours of it. Same thing with Bloodborne. I got into Bloodborne, and it's one of those things that if you're able to get past the frustration of getting your ass kicked over and over again, it clicks for you. It either clicks for you or you're like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore and I'm done. And it clicked for me. But again, there was so much other stuff coming out that I just fell off of it again. Switch is the perfect platform for me to play this game through to completion. Finally.
Yo, the chat is going hard right now. All trash. Where is Smash Brothers? Yo, this is cheap chat. He said last generation game. Yo, they going hard right now.
But this is again, and this is what I was gonna finish on. This is what I was gonna finish on. Like, there was a lot of hate on the internet about the contents of this direct.
This mini, right?
People, it's a mini. It was 14 minutes long, and now historically, they've usually followed a mini up with a full-on direct a few weeks later.
Yes. Now, it's funny you said that. Let me jump in real quick, Saul, because this was big on Reddit. This was like trending. So if you take it with a grain of salt, each direct mini has always followed a standard direct within 20 days. So if that's the case and that follows suit, and that, listen, regardless how people feel about the games, that mini was packed, right? Well,
it was nice. It was nice.
So if that means they have so much to show that they gave them their own segment, and now another direct is coming with another onslaught of games, to me, that's really promising, y'all.
But that's really just I don't understand the hate. Like people talking about, oh, it's the it's the new remastered console. Yes, it is. Give it to me. Give me all the remasters. Give me all the ports.
Take it with you. So hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Ebontis said, it's a different type of thing. Once you can play Dark Souls at work on your lunch break or something of that nature, you know that you don't have to be full. I have to wait till I get home at 6 o'clock or whatever it is. You know, whatever time you work from. Or listen, I got to go to this doctor's office. Let me go get past this boss in Dark Souls. You have to really take your mind and change it to this stuff is usually done when you need free time, when you need to occupy some time for something, right? So if you're taking the kids to the doctor's office or whatever it is that you're doing during your day, and you have a moment of alone time, and yeah, because that's when your tweets hop out. I see your tweets, and when you're playing that game, I know when you're playing the game because the tweets pop out. I don't really get that time with my Switch. And you know, my Switch is never coming off the dock. Only time my Switch goes out is like when I go to Cali or when I go on trips or if I go to.
Because I mean, not to get personal, like I know that you travel a lot for work and stuff, but I'm surprised that you don't use your Switch in a mobile function, like with as much driving and going all over the place as you do.
Oh, see, the thing with my thing is when I go to handle my business, there's no free time hand off the wheel.
You got people in your face all the time.
Right. So I'm like, you know, real quick, I'm only out for probably like 2 hours, 3 hours tops.
Just curious.
You know, And then I get back home and I'm like, oh, let me put this on. But then, you know, I get somebody like Lord Chris to hit me up. Like, hey, Lord Chris always hit me up. Yo, let's do this PUBG. Or somebody hit me up for this Destiny or something like that. So my time, unless I'm doing a Lord Sovereign,
this makes a lot of sense though, because now I understand. Like the way I look at it has always been like a portable console for me, because it's like if I'm home, I'm not gonna choose to switch over my Xbox One X.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not gonna do it. So that's where it has that special thing for me. But like you know, Lost I was saying, it's like if I'm at the doctor's office or I'm wherever, you know, that any time. Like I look forward to long waiting periods now. I'm like, oh, the doctor said, oh yeah, 35 minutes. Oh, sure, no problem.
I'm about to buy that system for my son. Because the games on it, you know, he likes to play his games portable anyway. And I think he's mature enough, even though he'll be 7 years old soon in the next couple of days. He's mature enough to not destroy the system. Yeah. So I don't fear that, you know. And the games that was shown were very nice games. So if people had a problem with the Direct, they just probably had a problem with the content of the Direct, and they wanted newer games. That's all.
Let's get Lord Ebontis. Let's also finish. I want to get Lord Ebontis in on his opinion of the mini Direct. So you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Definitely. I want to hear your opinions.
Yeah, Lord Ebontis, I know you're Switch gang. So what did you feel when you saw the Direct mini that came out?
I mean, not a lot of them do a lot for me, and it was like Hyrule Warriors has never really been my thing. Any Mario sports game though, I'm definitely always down to try it. Be it golf, be it tennis, be it like Mega Man Soccer on. Like I don't know if that was Super Nintendo. That crap was even fun. So
Mario Strikers, Mario Baseball's fun. Like all of that.
Yeah. It's goofy, and the fact that they're going to put a story mode in there where you're fighting a giant piranha plant or whatever it is. Sign me up, and that thing's like smacking the ball back at me and whatever it is. Like that's just going to be goofy fun. So as you said, perfect thing. Like what did I do with my Mario? I went for Christmas break. I took it up to my in-laws' house, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like past 500 moons, and it's nice. So I was like, I mean, that's perfect. So the balloon thing for Mario, the Luigi thing, of course, Luigi's kind of getting the back end of everything always, but sad face for Luigi. But I mean, hey, I'm honestly, that's more just the idea. Like they continue to support these games, be it ARMS, be it Splatoon, be it Mario Odyssey, which usually is typically going to be a complete package. They're adding something to a Mario game, like that's kind of astounding.
And it's free.
Yeah, I was like, Donkey Kong's always cool. Original Donkey Kong Country and Super Nintendo made me want to pull my hair out. It was like Dark Souls. But I also remember that like Mega Man 3 is one of my favorite games, and that will make you want to kill yourself. So because like when they released them now with they're so much easier with the save states. Like it's a different game.
We didn't have that before.
No. I mean, my only thing about Dark Souls, I want to play it because I love Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. But from what I've heard is they have refined that combat and made it faster and more reactive. If they don't make the combat feel the way the newer ones do, and it's like kind of an older, clunky feel, I'm probably not going to enjoy it. Like, I know that's like you got to learn the game for what it is, but I like the challenge of Dark Souls. I like the challenge of Dark Souls 3 and the challenge of Bloodborne, because again, if I lose, I feel like it's on me because I didn't dodge fast enough. Yeah, I
got you.
Yeah, so it was like, I just am curious when they remaster it, if they like kind of give it a modern update for the feel. Like if it's back to the bosses and like, you know, going back to the story for one, but with newer feel, perfect. Sign me up. So we'll see.
They made it clear that it was not, because there was speculation that it was going to be remade in the Dark Souls 3 engine, and they made it clear that that wasn't it. So I don't know if they could still make some sort of refinements to the combat. I know it's going to be running 30 frames per second on the Switch and 60 on console, on Pro and X. It's going to be running at 60. So that's another
where
thing.
Are you guys buying it?
I'm probably.
Yo, you see the disrespect? Did you hear
That's
this?
my man right there.
You've been hanging out with Lord King too long.
They said, where would you be experiencing this premium content?
I don't like the low-key disrespect.
So are you going to play Dark Souls, or just the PowerPoint of Dark Souls?
That's my man right there.
I'm sorry. Are you picking it up?
Oh, shots.
And not game sharing.
Like you have already beat it.
So you beat the choppy subpar 30 frames per second version of it, right?
You mean the one that came out like 6 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And that one. The subpar one. Okay.
So why would I buy a remake if it's the same game pretty much then? If it's the same thing that I played 6 years ago?
Because
remake, you don't have to for people who haven't done.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Non-addict world people.
Listen.
No, it's the same.
You guys act like there's no logic behind that.
No, there's
listen. I just want to say this.
Beat it, you don't need to play it. You don't.
Exactly.
It's like,
but why did the rest of them have to suffer because you didn't play it?
Because you played it, right?
I want to give a hand clap to Sovereign making it to the show. This is I said this. I don't know when me and Cognito was talking about this. I've been waiting for the real Sovereign to show up to the party. And y'all brothers do not know him like I know him. Okay? Listen, that his enthusiasm in the UFC in the beginning, this is just the tip of the iceberg of my brother here. And y'all are in for a great ride right now, baby. Clap back, Sovereign, baby.
Listen, an Addict, to me, this is my issue with fanboyism, because I know Addict isn't a fanboy necessarily, but. And my issue with fanboys,
there's an issue with me saying that if I was going to buy it, it would be on a system that's not running it like it ran 6 years ago. That's the issue.
But that's fanboy talk, though.
How is that fanboy talk?
That's fanboy.
If anything is fanboy, you're trying to justify buying it for that.
That's a statement that a fanboy would make. Because
statement
again, because it's facts. Because it's your fact. It's your reality. You know your truth. You know your truth.
This is
Addict's World.
That's legit how the games run. I don't understand how that's fanboyism or that's my facts. That's the facts that the developer themselves brought out. So
I'm talking about the fact that you're putting down anybody who's going to pick it up now.
That is kind of true, though. You was kind of low key implying, like, why would anybody pick that up, though? You was kind of implying.
I mean,
he wasn't implying that. What he was implying was, why would anybody pick it up in the old?
It's like the Doom. It's like Doom. Why? Like, I don't understand how people keep justifying these.
It's not about justifying, but here's the thing: you gotta understand all that. There's a huge audience from Nintendo, right? Like me, I've never played a Dark Souls game. I've never played one, right? So if I'm at home, right, but I play Dark Souls on the Xbox One X, absolutely, right? But I'm on the go. That's what the Switch provides me. I'm at work at a desk. So guess what?
Or there's people out there that don't have an Xbox
really
or anything else.
Right, and here's the last point I want to make. Here's the last in reference to why people with that. It's not about defending Nintendo. There's a bunch of people forget Nintendo has their own ecosystem. They have their own people that all they play is Nintendo games. They don't have a Sony. They don't play all that other stuff. So when you throw this title to them, there's millions of people who this is a new title to them. That it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? They never knew about that. That's what we're trying to say.
So Addict, are you pissed off at the fact that there's even a remaster? Like you're pissed off at that?
I'm not even debating on this conversation. You guys threw words in my mouth. Now I'm pissed off. Asking questions. Now I'm pissed off. I'm done with the conversation.
What he said was he wasn't pissed off with that. What he said is you're an individual with choice, and the choice is 60 frames over 30 frames. You know, basically that's basically where it went, and then it just went left.
It just went left.
Right.
I understand. Position like Lord Addict is saying, look, for me, I'm not buying that. I get that. I totally understand. He played Dark Souls years ago. He played Doom. He's not going to buy.
But if he was to buy it, he would buy the superior version.
Right. And don't get me wrong either. I don't want to negate Lord Addict's point. There are a lot of people who feel that way that have the next gen console.
That's me.
Right, and Lord
I would not buy Dark Souls.
Never buy that. You never buy a 30 frames per second Doom on that console. You're not.
It won't see my
to yourself
unless they gave it to me for free.
I completely understand that crowd, but there is the crowd, obviously, like
that don't have it. Yeah,
that don't have it, or just like Ebontis said, we just care about portability. So it's like, yo. I'll take a little sacrifice just so I can keep playing. You know what I mean?
He didn't let me finish my point. He didn't let me finish the point because I'm that dude that's buying both of them. I'm buying them both. I want that one on the console. That's 60 frames, 4K. I want that one, and I want it on the go too. And I'm gonna be that dumbass who does that.
I got to defend Lord Addict though. In this respect, I feel you, Lord Saul, because you're a special person. If I have
like a nice way of saying a lot of other things, you're a special person. Undertones of the word special go so deep.
But I'm
gonna be real with you, Lord Saul.
I'm that dude.
After playing Wolfenstein on my X, and we know Wolfenstein 2 is coming to the Switch, I can't do it.
Hell no.
I can't do it. After seeing it at its highest level, moving the way it's moving,
hell no.
I can't do that. I can't.
But see, this is the thing though. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you that no, you can't. That's never been my argument.
No, absolutely.
My argument is I'm not gonna sit here and shoot that version down without having played it. And if that means me purchasing it, I'm gonna do that.
You know what I would like for them to do, because I really want them to get this ecosystem with Microsoft going. That
I know what you're gonna say.
These games, let's say I'm playing it at home on my whatever, or I'm playing it on my Switch or whatever, and the same save points can travel between the systems. And I think it's gonna happen. I don't know. Aaron Greenberg's tweet was more telling than y'all think.
Listen. Lord King, that would be my dream. If there was somehow like you could cross save, and you notice
something. Nobody's talked about this in this direct that's coming. But if in this direct that shows up, because the direct is coming, we got what 19 days, 17 days coming. If they don't talk about the ecosystem when it comes to the online that they promised that will be coming out in a beta form of this year, if they don't talk about it, then that means is something more powerful to that, and what a way to make a super splash at E3. What a way to challenge the naysayers and to show you, because if Nintendo said, we're going to allow crossplay with Microsoft in these games, that means that they're playing friendly with this company.
Hey, I'll take it, because that would mean Nintendo gets something good out of an infrastructure.
I believe works. Lord King and Lord Addict at one point said it'll never happen.
Yeah, but you know what? The more that I think about it, Nintendo has been pushing these.
Statement. It will never happen.
They've been pushing these dinosaurs out, Addict. These dinosaurs, they've been pushing these dinosaurs out. And if they're taking these old people out to pasture,
I said from the start.
I don't know, man.
I said from the start,
Nintendo, older other Nintendo execs.
I said,
Yo, we gonna find their bones in back in the Nintendo complex.
I said from the start, Nintendo needs to just bundle every Switch with a PSN card or an Xbox Live card.
Listen, don't give them no PSN card because it ain't gonna work right.
Oh my god!
Hey,
Lord Ebontis, to your point, I really do believe that they would treat these older people with respect and put them down gently.
I'm done.
All right, I think it's time to move on.
It's time. We're gonna leave that alone. But I'm gonna say, I was very happy about it.
No.
I was very happy. I mean, listen, I'm like Lord Ebontis. This mini was probably not for me. You know what I'm saying? But I will say they were titles that I thought were new games that I came to find out were Wii U ports. So, hey, I was like, hey, I've never seen it before. That's pretty good. The Mario Tennis look cool. Low key for me, the actual Payday getting a release date, because that kind of went under the radar. And I know me and Lord Kai was talking about that. We were just worried if it would actually have an online infrastructure. It does. We confirmed. So I got my eye on that little bit of Payday 2 action. And Dark Souls. I mean, yeah, pretty huge game. You know, very impressive that it was announced on the Switch stage. And yeah, man, I'm pretty excited about that. So if anybody got anything else before we move on, Lord Sin, you had anything to say about the mini direct, or you
No, nothing. I'm not Switch.
I'm good on that.
my biggest thing is the fact
That's
that
like my
games
daughter's
Payday, Dark Souls, Doom,
Yes,
are actually touching a Nintendo platform.
That's all.
That is opening the door for finally, even if they're even if they're last generation, it's just the fact that those have touched a Nintendo platform now is opening the door for people to realize Nintendo's opening their mind from a narrow road to seeing about more stuff. So I was like, that just those pieces I think is good.
Shout out to Lord Chief Tom in the chat. He said, I was saying this months ago, Nintendo's evolving. I can't call him Grandpa anymore. I can still call him Grandpa when they got that phone and string contraption of an online infrastructure.
Oh.
Microsoft was coming. Microsoft was coming.
Off the hook yet, Lord Chief Tom. But to Lord Ebontis' point, these are all good signs. We want third-party support. We complain that they don't have third-party support. The fact that these games are touching Nintendo consoles is tremendous. So we're going to move on. We got the last subject, the big one. We're going to close this thing out. The Destiny 2 development update. Woo! The world has awaited this day. It was January 11th. Christopher Barrett's tweet. Bungie's Twitter was going crazy. Everybody's pressing F5, refreshing. The future of Destiny 2 hinges on what they were going to say. And boy, we got a lot to say. So real quick, they wanted to come out with their normal statement. We're not just listening, we're doing. Right, Ebontis? They're very, very passionate about that subject. And they touched a bunch of stuff. So the first thing they touched on briefly was just in terms of what's free post-launch content and what's not. So, with expansions, that's content that is purchased, like Curse of Osiris, all that stuff. That stuff comes with a new raid layer, which is Lord Addict's favorite word. New campaign and strikes, new destination, Crucible maps, so on and so forth. Now seasons, which would be considered like Iron Banner, Faction Rally, all that stuff, that's going to be free to all players now. So I thought that was pretty huge. They talked about Eververse. They came very clean to the fact that Eververse was the scales tipped too far in Tess's favor. They felt there were a lot of activity rewards that were kind of hidden behind the bright engrams. Also, bright engrams, if you notice when you played the Dawning, like Ebontis, you remember when you played, you leveled up, you would just get a standard engram. You wouldn't get the Dawning engram. So now they've made that change. That's going to have a direct purchase options. They're going to revamp Eververse. They're talking about Crimson Days coming up. They're bringing it back. Shout out to Lord SWAT. That's my Crimson Days buddy. I'm sorry, Pan, you got to let him go for that Valentine's weekend. We get our duel on. But they bring Crimson Days back. And they're going to have legendary weapons, a whole bunch of things. They're going to have a whole bunch of new milestones associated with it. Crimson engrams will be also, you can get that the standard way, not just through the Eververse store. So a lot of that stuff, they talked about the XP rates. They claim they're investigating. There was a big controversy with the XP throttling. They got their hands slapped because of that. But right now they do agree it's too slow in general and lopsided towards specific activities. So they're going to go into there and look at trying to evaluate how they can make that better. That's still going. And then they came up with the roadmap. So they started talking about January 30th. So we're getting Masterwork armor January 30th, and I'm very happy. I'm a huge fan of Masterwork. Shout out to Lord Kabatsu. That's what got me playing Curse of Osiris, was actually Masterwork. So they're doing it to armor. Right now, there's going to be some stats that are going to be re-rollable, and actually some things that you're going to be able to adjust. So for right now, it looks like it just increased damage while you're using your super. So that's the first one. Now they're talking about a raid reward rework. This is huge. Then again, yeah, January 30th, they're talking about raid specific armor perks dropping. The raid vendor will also directly sell Leviathan and Eater of Worlds armor with the purchase of raid tokens and legendary shards. They're adding a new ghost that drop in the Leviathan and Eater of World raid encounters. That's going to be raid specific. They intend on creating much more raid and activity unique rewards in the future. I thought, again, this is just Cognito speaking. I was personally, I think that was huge. This is something the community has complained about. February update. Strike scoring looks like it's going to return. So it's going to come to the Nightfall and high score tracking. They're going to replace and get rid of the timer. And I know that was a controversial subject because a lot of people did not like the timer. And I know Ebontis might be a little happy because he can go back to soloing Nightfalls again.
I haven't done them in a while, and I was like, hey, but hats off to people like Esoteric. If I actually took the time to learn, I hope I could get there. But I mean, for somebody like him, from what I've seen, sorry to cut you off, but
go for it.
The pieces in there, it looks like they are going to be doing some pieces that are going to still allow people on his level, and if I can get my crap together back on his, to be able to challenge yourself still. They're just doing it in a different way. So hopefully, yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's huge. And just bringing back strike scoring in general, that was a feature from Destiny 1. I love that feature. You get the rainbow, you get all those different little, it promoted competition. And that was one of my favorite features of Destiny 2. I mean, Destiny 1, that's coming back now. Destiny 2, mods 2.0, they're going to rework the entire armor and mod system. They're going to get rid of redundant mods. They're going to add stuff that's actually going to be more beneficial to gameplay. Now, quick play improvements, PC improvements. They talked about text chat, yada, yada, yada. Spring. Okay. Oh, actually, one more, which was big, was the fire team members on the destination map. So when you load in during a patrol, you can see where your guys are actually on the map.
Oh my God, thank God.
Yeah, that's huge. Like that
now just let me take 3 other people in patrol, we'll be okay.
You know what I'm saying? Huge, bro. Exotic repetition reduction. Everyone complained about getting the damn same exotics. I know Sinister goes crazy when he keeps getting duplicates, so I know he'll be happy about that. Spring 2018. This is another big one. They're going to take a lot of feedback from the Curse of Osiris stuff because people were mad. This was for me. I never thought I'd see this. Crucible 6v6 coming back to Destiny. That I would never have thought was going to come. I'm going to be honest, y'all. Lord Addict was
I knew it was coming. Too many people was complaining about it.
Lord Addict was with me when I talked with Irk McGurk there at Destiny, and I pressured him. I'm like, man, 6v6, no hope, maybe even for Iron Banner. And all he kept saying was the company line, we have nothing to report at this time. But now it's the time. It's 6v6. They're also adding Crucible ranking. So there's going to be 2 Crucible stats. One is going to be called Valor, which is a progression rank that goes up as you complete matches. Winning helps you move up faster, but there are no loss penalties. Then they're going to have this thing called Glory, which is a progression rank. And it's almost like a Halo thing that goes up when you win and down when you lose. So I thought that was pretty cool. Private matches return in spring, which should have never left in the beginning. But 6v6. They talk about Mayhem will return in limited events in season 3. More fixes, yada yada yada. They're going to talk about balance and weapon updates. We got to wait a little bit for that. Same thing with armor and balance weapon up passage. So that's going to happen. Season reputation, improve Iron Banner faction rallies, playlist reduction in the Crucible. So they do. Oh, the most needed. Shout out to Lord Kabatsu and Lord King. The multi-emote wheel will come. You can have emotes. Finally, you know what I'm saying? Vault space. They're adding additional 50 slots to the vault. They're also going to add an exotic accessory tab, almost kind of like kiosk-y kind of stuff that Destiny 1 had, to kind of just limit stuff from your vault. For my PC guys, shout out to Lord SWAT. They're doing tower chat. That's huge. And then to end off the update, fall 2018, These are the things that they are working on, but they are not ready to discuss. But they said it could come in fall 2018 or sooner. So one is going to be item collections and records. Now this one is key: weapon slot and archetype improvements. That can be taken many ways. Some people are saying, fusions and shotties out of the heavy slot, to make them a little bit more viable, since everybody's using rocket launchers right now, and the colony, the roaches, right? So this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely got to send those roaches after them.
Roaches after
trials
them.
players.
Yeah, but I mean, the grenade launcher was basically useless. Nobody used it until the colony, so I thought it was a great idea that they put the colony in there, and I like the weapon.
Right. Additional Crucible playlist. Rumble. We're going to have to wait on Rumble till fall, most likely. Better clan rewards. They're going to talk about Masterwork exotics. I think that's huge because Masterworks are so good right now. I'm actually running with all legendaries almost right now. I rarely use exotics.
Me too.
That's how Masterworks are. So we got that. We got Trials of the 9 improvements. We got to wait a little bit. Pinnacle weapon and gear, shaders and dismantling. I don't know why it's going to take that long for us to be able to just mass delete shaders, but
I think would be cool.
What's up?
If they put back Trials of Osiris and
please say that.
9, you can pretty much like the same way you do with vendors, where you lose yourself with one of them, and like the only fights that you do on those top tier PvPs is Trials of 9 versus Trials of Osiris.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it, man. I don't like that one sock chick. I want my Osiris back. I want Brother Vance back in the reef where he's supposed to be, and not being a fanboy, not fanboying out for Osiris.
He's the number one thought for Osiris, baby.
It was a huge update. A lot to talk about. I got 2 of these guests on, respected in the Destiny community for this purpose. Shout out to B Money in the chat. Here we go. So let's start off with Lord Ebontis. Then we're gonna get Sinister, but Lord Ebontis, after this dev update,
grab a cup of coffee.
Just grab that cup. Let's get into it. Let's get it. This is what we waited to bring you back for. Let's talk about it. How did you feel? I saw your tweet prior to the update telling everybody, hold the line.
Yeah.
Whatever
so basically,
happened.
like I was sitting there watching like people on Twitter, like you saw more console do his skeleton on the ground waiting for this, and you could literally just feel like attention on Twitter, and basically for anybody who's somewhat active in Destiny to be like, there's too much weight on whatever they're going to say that it's never going to be close. Now, I'm not going to apologize about Destiny 2 because there's a lot of decisions that were made about Destiny 2, and I haven't done a lot of videos about this yet. That's why my one about this is going to be long. There's a lot of crap that they left out of Destiny 2 that was in Destiny 1 that took 3 years to figure out. I'm sure you guys have already discussed all this. So all that stuff's fine. It's like, and I agree with all of that crap. So they're making steps in the right direction, and that whole article where it could have been developed in 16 months and that stuff comes out. So there's a lot of stuff that you're going on. Are they listening? The fact that you say, okay, they're going to clarify they're going to clarify the categories, and the first thing they talk about is Eververse. Yeah, that's a hot point, and that's the first thing they put up there. They didn't try and stick it in the bottom. They literally put in the top, and then underneath that they said, hey, for Crimson Days, you're actually going to be able to earn an emote for doing the Nightfall, earn a skin for doing the raid, and these are like cosmetics that you can earn. So their first steps are steps in the right direction, but there's so many things that I want more out of in all of this. These are baby steps in all of the right directions.
Yes.
But there's so much more that I think that can be done. Masterwork armor, the idea behind, reducing incoming damage while super is active. Okay. But I was like, it could be cool for mostly basically every arc super. Take something like an Arc Strider, Stormcaller.
Imagine a striker.
Oh my god! I don't know what
it depending on what kind of threshold that increases on your defense. I won't even use this super. I'll just go up to people and shoulder bash them.
Yeah, I mean but it makes, especially let's say the Arc Strider was probably a big one. It makes those more melee, close and personal supers more powerful and more usable. Because if you're going to be too far away, like a golden gun's a golden gun. If I fire a Celestial Nighthawk, that's not going to matter. So this, unfortunately, on the other end, doesn't do as much for those. So you've got supers that don't get to take advantage of it, but there's certain ones that will be more viable. If it stacks like 5 or 10%, per piece, and it better stack or this is a complete waste of time.
That's a good point.
That aside. But yeah, some of them, it's like golden gun. It's like fire, done.
Okay. Yeah, there's no real need for that. Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
But and then the other side, armor, like you guys may have seen Cax's video, and we've all been thinking the same thing. Armor is useless. It doesn't mean squat whether you find it from a legendary or you find it from the raid. If it's a heavy Titan armor, it's all the same stuff. So
Yeah.
pick one more stat piece for a little more walking speed or a little bit of that. Unfortunately for me, they need to rework all of armor. So for me,
all right, I apologize. I've been over here like tripping. Like, what is that? No signal. Ebontis is a jackass.
No, I have no idea why. I don't have.
No, he didn't do that on purpose.
I thought that's what his picture was.
No, it's his picture now, but he couldn't
that's his
figure out
neutrality icon. Continue.
Yeah, no. I mean, the raid stuff, that's all steps in a great direction.
Yeah,
like raids within the reward,
not for Addict,
but then you have to.
No,
but
it's
you
not.
have to go
it's
like
not enough, right? It's not enough in the right direction.
No, I'm saying it's not in the right direction, but it's like, why did you take it away? Destiny 1 felt good. Why did you? I'll save my language, mess everything up.
Yep.
I was like, because it's about to get a lot uglier. But no, I was like, so putting stuff back in the encounters, duh. Like having like very specific things. Duh.
It's like, you know, I understand that we're going in the right direction, but when Cognito read that whole list off, if I would have went right after him and not Ebontis, this is literally the first sentence I said. Oh, so they're adding 2 things and they're adding everything else that was in Destiny 1. Okay, continue.
Yeah, and exactly. So I was like, I mean, that's maybe why I passed it, but I was like, I feel your sentiments. Believe me, Addict. I'm like, this stuff was there, and we've all wondered. It's like, why? Why?
Money.
We're gonna get into the why. We're gonna touch the why. I just want you to. I want to go through everybody on what was presented and what they feel. Continue.
So like strike scoring coming back gives it variety. Like, you know, time limit's not there. It lets me be more flexible in a video. So I was like, it works out for me. But if somebody like Esoteric's like, hey, let me crank everything on, let me still show you guys I'm a beast. Perfect. So if it's flexible, where like a gold medal is still something that requires speed, but you don't get the gold, but still finish at Nightfall, 2 different sets of rewards that actually could be might actually work. Like, I mean, if I had 3 people in a time to Nightfall, I still finished it. The time never hurt me in a group Nightfall. Solo is a different animal, but in a group, that was fine. So, but
I had a question for you with the solo of the Nightfall. Have you finished the Prestige by yourself?
Oh, hell no.
Okay. No, I just wanted to know because when I saw that you was on today, that was my biggest question to you, because I've been trying to ever since I saw you solo it, you've been my high watermark as far as that goes. And I was just like, I got to talk to this dude to find out seriously, did he do this on Prestige? Because
now that the timer's going to be gone, he may be down now.
Yeah,
because he's a gaming god.
That's putting me on a pedestal I don't deserve on, but thank you.
Listen, let me tell you something. You tell somebody else, you know, Sinister's in his room. He's a gaming god when it comes to Destiny 1 as well. Solo in the Nightfall is not something that you can't do lightly, to be honest.
Can't minimize that.
All right. So I'm telling you, you can't. Some people can't get through it with 3 people.
I had a lot of comments literally on my channel. It was always like, you solo it like, and you're calm and collect. I got called. Okay, here's the joke. I got called the Bob Ross of Nightfall guides just because I was so calm and collected and chill.
Wow.
I'm like,
like you painting that tree over there.
Yeah, it's like there's a pretty little bush over here, and it would literally, I'd be like, okay, so you're talking to the boss over here. You're gonna have these guys come out. Once he gets down to this amount of damage, you're gonna do about 180,000 damage. And I was just very analytical, but that's my nature. So it was like when it came off, I had that comment once, and I about fell out of my chair. So
overall, wrap it up with Lord Ebontis, your feelings on the rest of the development update.
I mean, they're talking about things we all want. Mods, they're a way for me to see 335, but most of them are kind of meh, unless I just want to throw all arc things on my Titan. Crucible rankings, it's a start, but I'd love to see ladders. Private matches to me are useless. Unless you just want to host a tournament, that's fine. But I want custom games, not private matches. That's a very different animal.
Fair enough.
So I would rather have you have snipers or you have sidearms. Okay, so this is going to be a trade, but it's going to be funny.
I know Sinister chopping at the bit. You up next, I know.
I was like, and then just the highlights. This one sentence here is probably going to sum up my thoughts on this whole thing. Exotic armor and weapon balance pass. Exotic weapons and armor are receiving a comprehensive design pass to ensure they stand out from the rest of the gear. To make sure exotics stand out from the rest of the gear. Make it exotic.
Exotic, yeah. They're so scared. They're so scared of breaking balance. You could tell. Because when we had exotics this year, what was the helm, the Warlock helm that makes your recharge speeds go up a little bit? That like they had exotics to fix to try to make things speed up faster. That's when I knew. I'm like, whoa.
You're talking about the gauntlets that made you reload faster.
Eater of Other Worlds, or
exactly. That the exotics were just buffs, like slight buffs to stuff, as opposed to truly feeling powerful.
They were garbage.
Yeah,
as everybody says, you can run with legendaries, and most people do, because what's the point? I literally want something to where, like, if I'm wearing a chest for my Titan, I want a tough decision on any exotic, be it weapon or armor. I want something to be like a god tier of all categories, but it's like if you're using the hand cannon, I'm using the rocket launcher, they both have their perks, but I don't know which one to pick because it actually matters. So I was like, yeah, fixing some of this, heading back to a lot of the Destiny 1 stuff. I'm good with it. Why on earth the vault? I was like, I'm with Destin Legary on this one. 1,200 and however many days on the vault space. Like, what the hell? Like, that can't be that hard. I'm not a programmer, but it's like, it's just, it shouldn't be, at least. So, no, I was like, I'm a huge Destiny fan. I do a lot of it. It's what my channel's on. But my frustration, that's why I literally put a poll on my channel. It's like, how long do you guys want to see a video on this? I put 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Because my first run through on my script was like 35 minutes long. And it's like, it's me venting basically. And I was like, how much do you want to hear it? And some people like, just don't limit it, just go. And I was like,
just go.
All right, it's going to be interesting. So like when Heroic Strikes came in, Heroic Strikes have no modifiers. They're just strikes.
That's
and you have Heroic Adventures that have new modifiers.
It's ridiculous.
There's a giant WTF on my head going,
so, these are all things from Destiny 1 Season 3 that were added. There were no reason to take them out.
It was all there already. So you have modifiers on Nightfalls. Just throw the same modifiers on Heroic Strikes, but they're not as hard, but you can have some fun and make them random every time you go. So I will let other people talk. But I was like, as I said, you could hear me for half an hour.
I know. That's why I wanted you here.
Yeah. So there are things they are bringing. I was like, for my summation, there are things that are bringing back that are baby steps in the right direction. There are band-aids to fixes. There's stuff that should have been there from launch. So is it going to be like Division 1.8 2 years from now when we finally get Taken King 2.0? Maybe, because right now it's kind of like, that's why there are other games out there. And that's why I was like, if you're not happy with this, go play another game, because they may need some time.
Let me ask, before I pass it off, the last question I have for you, Ebontis, is it too little, too late?
For a lot of people, probably is. Because be it the PC players, when you took away a prestige raid, when you added new content, and if they just got to play Destiny 2 for the first time, they're like, I have about a gazillion other PC games. Bye. Like, I mean, you took too many. So I mean, that's a huge.
And now you got PUBG, you got the Fortnites,
you've got to compete with a lot of other stuff out there right now. Don't take missteps on a completely new consumer base that are that big. Like they're on the world of Reddit and stuff even more than console people's are. You guys may be more of the exception, but the world of PC lives on that stuff, so they're more in the know. So I mean, so no, it's like there's a lot to the game that needs reworked. It's baby steps, but I was like, and that's what I was going to start my video with. It's like, if you want this update to change Destiny from Destiny, this is not the update for you. This is not the update you were looking for if you're going for Star Wars speak. So.
Lord Sinister. I need feedback, baby. Let's go.
So for one, y'all know me as always, even when the numbers are down, I'm sitting here. I was loyal to Destiny. Even when people were not touching, when the 3 million went down, I was it's a shame. It got lonely. It got lonely on Destiny. It really did.
I don't know how it got lonely, and I'm playing every day, but go ahead.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna shoot my shot. So don't come wrong. I'm gonna shoot my shot, so don't go wrong.
There's very few people, and then when you jump into trials and stuff,
which is what you are about. You are a trial.
And now you only have the sweats. There's no more regulars. You only have the sweats rocking Antelope D with the the Antelope D and either a Mida, Positive Outlook, and Colony. Those are the only things you see. And these guys are just running around 4.0ing, wrecking everything. you can't even help people get through anymore because everybody's running stack.
But let me ask you a quick question, Lord Sinister. Do you think this is another thing I'm seeing going out in the community? Shout out to the 5-team chat, my IGN guys, Lord Fran, Marabella. I got to shout them out because they always shout me out. CJ Gibson and Destin Laguerre. What people are saying is all this sounds great with the Crucible stuff, but people still upset that they got to wait so long for the meta change. People are saying that the time to kill is way too long, and that like they're not fast enough with the balancing. You know what I'm saying? Like remember before?
Remember they were complaining about having only a few weapons to rock with, and everybody's rocking the same weapons again. There's only a few weapons with these armor. I like that they're putting the little perks on the armor, but I don't know. I think they're a little too late. They lost a large portion of the community, and a large portion of them ain't coming back, no matter what Destiny does, unless they do some taking key revamp. And as Ebontis said, this is not going to happen. It's just too late, and the community is hurt. It's hurt. It's hurt that this has happened.
And I mean, Lord King, I got you. But Lord Sinister, I'm gonna ask you though, with the updates, was there anything that got you excited and said, okay, this is what I'm talking about, this is what I like this? Like
I did like the Masterworks. I did like the Masterworks. It gives you a reason to keep going if you're still with the game. But like I said, it's a little too late. Some people don't even know about Masterworks. They don't even know what that is, and they just I'm done with the content, and the raid sucked, and I'm done.
So you're done.
But that's what y'all should do, like in your clan. Like y'all should like post that new stuff is up, so everybody can see, and then your clan to get into.
But then you get that one hater that'll just say, "Oh."
Yeah, that's true. And if it's deleted your clan,
and it shuts it all down.
I mean, if the leader hates, it all go down.
Not if the leader, it could be anybody.
It's subliminals. Oh my god. Subliminals is crazy right now. So Lord, like I said this before I pass it off. Overall, your thoughts on this dev update for you personally? Will this get you to continue, or you're like, you know what? Nah, sorry.
I've been playing Destiny since day one. I'm gonna continue, but they've lost my hours. If you get what I mean.
So they're no longer.
I was doing way more than 80 hours a week. I was doing way more than that, and now it's dropped to like 4 hours a week. Just get the common stuff done. And okay, I'm on to PUBG. I'm gonna go play Fortnite. I'm gonna go play, my solo stuff. But Destiny used to have our heart where we put more than 80 hours, and your wife is angry at you because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And that's gone. That feeling's gone, and it's gone with your friends.
A full-time job in itself. It was such a selfish game. It wouldn't allow you to play other games because you had something to do every single day, depending on what community and depending on what goals you had. And to not have that, isn't it weird now? Like I gotta stop playing and play other games.
Now I feel like I'm touching backlog and I'm sitting on I'm sitting on the dashboard. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch YouTube. Like it's like, what happened? We used to have people begging to get in raids, begging to get in Nightfalls. No one's there. No one's begging.
For real? That's kind of crazy. Because it's gonna be a tale of two cities in a second.
You need a Nightfall? I'll give you a Nightfall. But I'm saying there used to be a large community, not just King's
I'm gonna give you a tale of two. I'm gonna give you a tale of two cities in a second.
Go ahead. Let's hear King's rant and rave.
We'll get Addict after King. So King, go ahead.
Well, shout out to Channel 5, We the Clan. I just got to start it off with that because when I look at my clan is lit. You guys, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm not gonna front. I'm actively recruiting all the time. I'm trying to get my boy Chris in.
He's been asking us for that raid, man. I know it's scheduled. Yeah. We were on a couple times when he wasn't on, but we got to get Brap that raid done.
We always getting those. When we're gonna do this raid, when we're gonna do this raid, when we're gonna put this together, and we're gonna do that.
Spot. 448.
That's right.
Who's there when you asked for the raids? I was there, right? Yeah.
No, actually, you're never there. I don't see you anymore. You playing Fortnite. Let's get that together. Let's grab that jacket. That's been
when we went through it. We went through it together. Don't act like
here we go. He's falling asleep again. That's the jacket. You put on your nightcap. You went to sleep, bro. This is 2 months later. So 2 months after you fell asleep and we woke up, we were still here. I saw the information that was dropped out, and I got elated because
Sure, I got your back on this.
I know fake news. I know.
Lord Addict's on deck. Lord Addict's on deck.
We know about that fake news over there.
Yo, check this out.
Yes.
You know what's crazy? Watch Lord Addict do the flip on you. Man, see, he's setting you up. I'm telling you now. You think it's good candy,
Just
but
go
right
ahead.
now
Go ahead.
it's bad
You
candy.
procrastinating on what you need to say.
No, what he did, he just put a razor blade in your apple.
Continue, Lord King. Like, listen, development update.
Listen. Let me explain. The update impressions, it showed me that they're listening. It showed me that, you know, there's an internal struggle with, you have Bungie and you have Activision. And I don't want to believe in my heart that Bungie is what Activision is trying to make them out to be, because I believe all those stuff was already available for us to play in the same ways that they were in Destiny 1, and Activision wanted to scale back, you know, for their reasons. I know you want to touch that on a little bit later, and we're just going to talk about the topic at hand. My impressions of it, I'm happy. I'm happy in the stance that now I've been talking about it for a couple of months since we had Masterwork guns, when we're gonna get the Masterwork armors, because like everybody's been running around with their perfect gun and they made it Masterwork, you know. So I've seen a lot of things, like, you know, people talk about, I used the blue streak for Masterworks because I like the way this works, or I use this gun or this sidearm and I made it in Masterworks, and it makes you say to yourself, should I get this origin story Masterworks, or should I make this nameless Midnight Masterworks?
Better Devils, all that.
Right. So I've been running around with my Better Devils. I have over 2,000 kills with my Better Devils at a Masterworks, and it's making it your own. They're taking their time out to fix it and make it your own. I know some people have walked away from it and they're not playing it, and that's fine. And, you know, you go over there and you do that. Maybe I'm a fanatic. Maybe I'm on that side of the page where no matter what they do, I'm going to stay there in hopes that they're going to fix it, because such the good feelings that I had from Destiny 1 and a feeling of camaraderie when Sinister's taking us through the raid, or we're doing a nightfall, or we're finding a new glitch, or we're doing this, and those great moments are still with me. So even if I'm trugging through the bad moments in the game, those good moments are still there. I can joke with Sinister a million days in one, but he can also say, yo, remember that time we had one shot and he used that Celestial Nighthawk or the boss and we made it out of there? It's things that we can say that we can't say for other games.
Exactly.
So this
even the
game
Callous phase we're doing with Sinister and Addict just fighting each other and just, you know, trying to get at each other.
You understand?
Trying to do something the best. And Sinister with what you call it, with the Addict with the dogs and all that. Yeah. It's
to the point where we're getting there. Yeah, does it bother me? Yeah, because Sinister was the guy that was putting in 80 hours a week, and I can see him always on, and he'll jump in my party, or I'll jump in this party. What you doing? Where we going? What we doing with this? But, you know, just the same way that he's doing that, I'm staying doing this, and I got a team that we do this. So it's never really changed for me. Where it changed for him, and there's a lot of people that it changed for. But then there's a lot of people that's like myself that it hasn't changed for.
Okay, because I seen you've been rocking hard since Curse of Osiris. You've been doing your promises.
Never stopped.
You've never stopped. Now here's the question. Now, what about we're gonna get into Addict? I know he's got a lot to say about this. What about like the raid layer thing? Like, thing
right there? I'm with Addict on that.
Okay.
Apartment
2C. Okay.
Yeah, apartment 2C. I know in premise, it was great when they put it up on the board and they were like, yo, and then we release this, you can do this and you can do that. But what would have been better is this thing is a planet eater. Go to different planets within the world eater.
Yes.
And
that's like it should have been it should have been tied to Osiris's story, like let it go to Mercury or something, so that it gives you a reason after you beat the campaign for Osiris that it's linked. Now it doesn't feel there's that story link, right?
There's no link to it. It's like it's its own entity up in the corner because it's always up in the corner in the right. And if you clicked on it, you clicked on it because you had 6 people that want to do it. Right. And you don't get the 6 people that want to do it because the perks aren't worth the headache.
Speaking of which, how did you feel about their willingness in, I believe in January 30th, the raid specific mods, the raid specific?
Oh no, well, I'm gonna get in there.
Okay, let's go.
I'm getting in there. I'm getting in the raid. Like soon as the stuff drops that allows us to get that stuff. Listen, I got TAC, I got Sue, I got my elite squad that actually gets in there. You know, I'll call Hawaiian. I definitely can call Sinister. You know, get off that Fortnite. Let's do it. And he'll do it. The first question is he'll go, how many do you have? If I say I got 5 and he's the 6th, he's in there. If he'll tell me, well, get the team ready, I'll be there whenever you get the team ready. So it's never been no, I'm not coming or whatever.
Absolutely. One thing about Sinister, he'll stop whatever he's doing. If there's a group, he will stop whatever he's doing. He's in. Yeah. So I want to get this over to Lord Addict. I know he's got a lot to say. It seems like he's learning about these updates. Lord Addict, you still there? Did you grab something?
Am I the last one?
Pretty much before the casual sauce.
Let's go over and go next.
Before casual sauce.
Yeah, because I want to finish off. I want to finish off with a question for all of you guys. So I'll let you guys, you lovers, first.
All right. Absolutely. Go ahead, Lord. Addict, let's go.
No, I said so I have to go next because I'm eating.
Oh no, I can go now. Go. All right, so here, go eat. Here's the thing. I'm with y'all. Everything y'all said. I mean, everybody made great points. Ebontis made great points, you know, and I get it. You know, I think it's one of those things that it's like, the way I look at it is, why did this happen? It's like a car accident. I'm trying to make sense of it, right? Like, why did we get hit? Like, yes.
And I think we won't ever be able to answer that because that information won't come out.
I got a theory, Lord Ebontis. I'm about to break it right now.
All right, break it up.
Here's the thing. All right. The way I see it is, okay, we had Destiny.
I think Wrath of the Machines messed it up.
Why Wrath of the Machines?
Siva infected Bungie, and they took over.
I think Wrath of the Machines, they had such a high demand. I don't think Wrath of the Machines was ever supposed to come out. Well, I think they were supposed to go from
But we did find out that was made by the live team because Destiny.
That's what I meant. I know what you're saying. Pull a lot of people to the left at the last minute,
right? Which showed to me that they are still incapable of producing content frequent enough. Right now, we were told that with all these studios, High Moon Studio, what is it, Vicarious Visions, or whatever the name of that studio is, you know, to help with the PC port, we were told, you know, that this was the full team. Destiny 2,
amazing, by the way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They shouldn't have never made it.
You could probably split the thing. But
no, it's not that. They shouldn't have made the PC port because let me tell you something. These PC crowd dudes, they do not play. They are highly critical. They're very jaded. They will turn on you in a hot second. All right? If it's not right, they have millions of Steam games to play, and they don't care about you. They will tear up your situation, leave you all messed up over there, and the world believing this is true. Only for the PC guys it's true, but these console dudes, now we got to be stuck with this. No, they should have never put that game on PC, but that was Activision chasing those dollars.
Okay, if they would have, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say. So take all of the stuff that they want to do here that they should have probably done from the get-go, and say they put that stuff out on an actual PC launch the way we all wanted that thing to come out. If they gave them the right game, they wouldn't have run.
Right.
No, they wouldn't have. That you're right. You're 100% right with that. But if they would have launched this game minus the PC, and nobody.
I know what you're saying, Lord King. From a resource standpoint.
Yeah. Like I'm talking about these dudes running through that code. These are the dudes that they did. Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna front. You PC dudes are the best dudes in the world. If there's something going on shady in the background, we would have never found out. At Xbox X, we would have never found out about Eververse. But you, brother, I'm gonna tell you right now, you found out that dudes was throttling. You found out that it was the ratio to the shirt on. It was bad because the gun.
The Eververse.
So basically, what you're saying is they did the maths.
They did. I'm not gonna front. No, y'all pulled the code out and looked at the code, and somebody got cold eyes, and they was able to see where the lives was at. So, a shout out to that's where y'all went wrong, Bungie. Y'all got greedy. Y'all reached for those dudes that could actually lift up the shirt and see what you was working with.
Theory, y'all. I got my theory.
All right, let's let him.
Here's my thing. My thing is this: when you look at Destiny 1 and you look at the history, and this game started out flawed, and then it ended in season 3, all these great systems, all these things we loved, and we're sitting there as Destiny players like, oh, Destiny 2 is going to be lit because they already got this as the foundation. Exactly. Destiny 2 comes out, and we're like, but where's the heroic strike stuff? But where's this stuff? But how come the raid doesn't do this? And how come everything is casualized? And how come Hawthorne's giving out raid weapons? And how come like we're sitting there, we're like, what is going on? Why are basic things that were part of the core Destiny 1 experience missing at the start of Destiny 2? Right? And the way I look at it is this. To me, Bungie they signed that 10-year contract or whatever with Activision, right? The way my theory works is that Activision looked at Destiny 1 and said, wait a minute, all you guys are just paying for it. All you got them paying for is emotes. All you got them paying for, you got them paying for expansions, but we can kind of do more with this model, right? As soon as Destiny 2 comes out, Eververse got a whole section. In the tower. All of a sudden, loot rewards like ships that remember when you used to do the Black Spindle, you used to get the Vienna ship and all that. All these ships and Saint 14 and all that is behind Eververse. That's crazy. Then if they did the math behind it, like there's no way to acquire these items if you just played the game. Even if you mathematically and RNG blessed you to get a different item every single time, you would still never get every Evervice item.
That's true.
That's crazy. So the way I looked at it is, one, it got casualized because they said, okay, we got to get more people playing the game. They did not necessarily respect the hardcore who actually stood by the game and loved all those kind of hardcore systems because they wanted to attract that crowd. Now the game comes out, the casuals, like we had the discussion before, the casuals are gone. Solve's not playing. Solve beat the game. He's good.
Dark Souls.
See, what they failed to realize was the hardcore would carry the casuals and hold them through the game. You lost the hardcore, you have no casuals. Good job.
So the thing ultimately comes down to, I see this update, and now it's like, oh, now they're putting stuff back from Destiny 1. But why is that, Ebontis? Because, one, the player base has dwindled to pathetic levels. There's an uproar. You've got famous streamers right now. The PvP guys, they're not playing Destiny 2 PvP. They're not playing Trials like the way they used to. These guys are on Fortnite, PUBG, everything, every other game under the sun. Shout out to Lord Cactus. He's been on the show. Man, Lord Cactus doing Division video.
yeah. So Cactus on that Division.
Like that lets you know where Destiny is. So the way I look at it, Ebontis, is now Bungie can come back to their masters and say, you see, we did it your way with forcing these microtransactions, over casualizing the game, and now the player base is gone. So now they have the position to go to Activision and say, hey, we got to change this, and you got to give us the green light to change it back. And now we're getting the stuff from Destiny 1 back. But the problem is, to be too little too late, because if you pissed off the hardcores that much, what's the incentive for them to come back? Me personally, I love Destiny so much. I'm like, Sinister, I'm going to play it. I like the Masters. I'm with Lord King. You know what I'm saying? I actually like the Master. That actually kept me going. Like now I'm at a point with Destiny. Each update, I look for a little thing. I have like set dates. Like, okay, next Tuesday, faction rally. I am looking forward to that because I want that gear. Like that. Then I get on, I do my thing, and then I jump off. That's what Destiny 2 is for me right now.
You're a filthy casual.
Yeah, I'm a casual now. You know what I'm saying? Lord Addict, are you there? If not, Solve gets jump in.
Yeah, I'm here now.
All right, let's go.
Like, look, like I like how they're changing a lot of this stuff around. I do like how they're bringing 6v6. It kind of caught me off guard a little bit. But are they bringing 6v6 back entirely and replacing 4v4?
6v6 is back. That's
are they replacing 4v4? Is it its own
mode? They're adding it in additional. So I don't know. That's why I was like, the question is it coming back for something just like Rift, or it's more of an objective mode where you need more people? Because 4v4 on Rift, I think that's going to be really high scoring because you're having a
playlist. It says 6v6 playlist. We're bringing 6v6 PvP to Destiny 2 in addition to the current 4v4 game modes.
It does say list, not lists.
Yeah, it says playlist. That is correct.
So
playlist.
I was like,
I mean, when it comes down to it, man, a playlist is multiple things anyway. So
yeah.
You know, like let's
go, Lord Addict.
It's cool how they announced all this stuff. It's not even really on Destiny Strike. I just have no need for the game anymore. Like, I'm going to play this next expansion because I've already paid for it. But like, they better have something crazy because I'm about the raids. Like, I don't care, but the PvP's cool. I get on there, but most of the time I'm on there to play a raid, and someone convinces me to play PvP.
Addict question. Do you buy Destiny 3, or does Destiny 3 even come out?
I mean, Destiny's definitely coming out. Destiny 3, there's no doubt in my mind that game's coming out. If they don't show me a significant improvement between now and then, probably not.
Now, here's the question. Because we know there's another raid layer coming, which we know you're not a fan of. Here's the thing: like, is it going to have to take their Taken King style expansion in September for you to take it seriously because it won't be on the Leviathan anymore? I know you hate the Leviathan with these raid layers.
I don't want to even see the inside of the Leviathan anymore. But I know for a fact because it's the face at the other side of the raid.
You go to Apartment 3F or Anna Bray DLC.
And it's just like, oh my gosh, man. Like, see, look what you guys made me do. Like, I was in a good mood, and now I'm frustrated. Like, look, like, they need to fix the raids. There's no denying it. There's no going around it.
It just feels fake to him. It's fake. The Leviathan is a lie. The forest is a lie.
The forest isn't a lie. The forest
is a lie. It's an imaginary place. It's a VR headset on Osiris, and he lives there. And you go play multiplayer with him sometimes.
I would have been okay if you put the raid in the forest.
Yeah,
like that would have been okay. But the fact that it's like there's like literally nothing connecting going from the last mission of Osiris to it's like everyone got an email that was like, yo, Callus needs you guys up there. And it's like you're fighting Cabal, like the whole raid.
No sense story-wise in conjunction.
And then at the very end, you go from fighting the Cabal to hearing Callus to not hearing Callus and fighting Vex. What? Like I just. It's oh my gosh! Like it's some of the mechanics were fun, but it was the first time that that ILP went and did that raid. We got to the boss. The boss. How many times did we wipe?
We didn't wipe that much.
Maybe 7 times. That's overestimating it. Like we died maybe 7 times.
So basically, you don't like these. They feel like miniature raid experiences, not a full blown rage. So that's automatically.
That's disgusting.
I'd rather play Crota.
Yeah.
Because at least
I want what they promised. They promised. I don't know where I heard it. I don't know if it was a dream or something that they said we're getting all these old raids back. I'm still waiting for that. I'm waiting for my Volta Glass remastered. I'm waiting for my stuff. So this is what I'm waiting for.
Last question, Addict. Before I pass this off to finish this thing off. Do you, with the updates as far as the race specific stuff, was there any besides the race specific stuff they said they're adding? Was there anything on there that at least said, okay, I didn't expect that? That has me a little interested on how they.
It's cool that they're getting a little bit of armor drops and exclusives to the raids. It's like cool. I can play the raid and get a couple more things. Gotcha. Here's the thing: I don't want to play the raid.
Gotcha.
The raid is whack. It's literally you go from a giant like spring thing where they shoot you in outer space to a room where you walk in this little gas station to the room you fight him in. Like it makes no sense. Like
so, your main issue is the raid layer. You like Callus though. You like the Callus raid. You like the Leviathan, the first.
Yeah,
one.
the raid was okay, but like, and I've told you from multiple times that Leviathan was cool, but it was definitely not on my top 3 of the raids.
Right.
But this one is with Crota. Now, for the people who is watching this podcast that don't play Destiny, that's like saying like the worst game you possibly could think of in your favorite franchise that you shitted on all the time. It's that game.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Lord Sav, let's anchor this thing out. I know we've gone over, but this was a big one, and I had to have the guess on. You are the casual anchor. Lord Sav. Appearance of opinion of our ranting and our oval emotional selves.
I feel for you crackheads, man. Like I really do. I really do. You just can't bring yourself to walk away.
Are you insinuating that we have battered wife syndrome? That we have been beaten?
We do. I'm gonna admit it. We have withdrawals and we go back, play the bullshit, and then we step away and we're like, why did we play that? Why did I go back?
I'm gonna show you how disgusting I am with it. As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going downstairs to play.
When it comes to AI, you're a boss. But at the end of the day, it's like I can't excuse the first part of the raid and how easy it was and how simplistic every mechanic was in the game, just because the mechanics to fight the boss were kind of cool.
So this is the time we have to walk away from wifey.
There's no way I can do that though. That's the part that sucks.
No, you guys,
we can't. We got the ring on. We can't walk away.
You see that? As soon as the wife beater T-shirt comes out, that's it. You guys submit. You're like,
the wife beater T-shirt comes out.
Yo, Lord Sovereign is exposing us.
I'll tell you, he's here. He's here now.
Keeps dropping off a box of chocolates on the table. Says she's sorry a little bit, and then we just fall through. We get beat again.
And we back.
Y'all need to be in the Me Too movement. Me Too.
Wow.
We're like,
Sovereign is loose today.
Please don't do it again.
Show me the way, Sovereign. Show me the way.
We have that hope that one day this abusive relationship will change. That one day it'll get back.
She was good to us before.
She was good to us at the end of Destiny 1.
I'll say this.
I love the way she used to cook.
So when you said at one point, you said you had a question for all of us.
I'll finish off with that question, right? But let me just give my overall on this.
Absolutely.
So the RPG elements, the upgrading elements, the loot elements has always been stuff that's appealed to me most about this game. The shooting is obviously great, but the upgrading and stuff, that's what's always like, got me hooked into it. So yeah, the Masterworks weapons is cool stuff. I'm glad that they are going to apply it to armor. I always thought that, as soon as I saw that, I said, yeah, applying it to armor would be cool. The same thing with the exotics. Like, you have to make exotics matter because they don't matter. Like, most people get their exotics just to infuse their legendaries and that's it. So they have to matter. Beyond that, like everything else, I can't really speak on. I can't really. I never had issues with. I like the way Crucible was. I never played it 6v6, so I don't know what I'm missing. So that's something. But I definitely like to experience that. But my thing is this, and King touched upon it with are you purchasing a Destiny 3? There's definitely going to be a Destiny 3, right? Definitely. And there's going to be a Destiny 3. Let's say 2020, right? If by the time you get to Destiny 3, let's say this game has been, quote unquote, where you want it to be for a year at that point, right? Like, let's say for a year, it's been where you guys are happy with it. And what do you think Destiny 3 is when it comes out? Is it the game that you want it to be starting out, and then they're going to improve upon that? Because the thing is, the way these updates are being presented now, it seems like Activision said, you know what, we're wrong here. You guys take the reins. But when there's money involved, and
the money involved now it's come back to them, the player base and people have gone. So now Bungie has the argument to Activision to say, look, can we do it back the way we wanted to do it? You know what I'm saying? And now thus we having these updates, these big development updates, and all of a sudden now they're transparent.
Right. My thing is this: and you guys have stated this before, if it is too little, too late, and the player base doesn't come back, be ready for Destiny 3 to be the same. Be ready for Activision to once again be like, nah, you got to try to figure out how to put it differently or hide it differently, but we still need to get this in there.
But here's the thing, Loso. You've got Anthem coming. You've got the Division has already confirmed. Not only have they 1.8 has been great. I'm hearing rave reviews. Division has already confirmed they're working on a sequel, which is what I'm interested in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A new engine, whatever. So you've got two major, and Anthem. I know EA's got their issues, but Anthem got positive reception. And supposedly, I doubt it comes out at the end of this year. But it's
EA.
coming.
Just remember that.
I know. I agree with you, Lord. I'm with you. That's my thing too. I'm not quick to call it the Destiny kill like everyone else is saying. I know who's behind that, and that's EA. I ain't willing to say that yet. But there is sentiment. There are people who are like, I am done with Destiny. Anthem is the game that got me the most hype. I remember when the Anthem trailer came out, me and Lord Addict was arguing with people.
Look,
like, really?
I might not be, into that Destiny life right now, but I'm not going to go out there and say that EA is going to dethrone Destiny. But this is how I see Anthem. You have one skeleton, one of those little suits that you have to. The rest are about microtransactions. You start it up. You do the first mission. They say, okay, now you have access to the first area. We just need $2.99.
I know it's EA, which is worse. But continue.
So my question to you guys is Destiny 3. Let's say it's not, whatever Destiny 2 ends up being, right? It's something brand new, but they're promising it. But they say it's going to be for the hardcore, right? Do you guys buy into it, or you guys just want what you want? Are you getting that game?
We're going to buy it regardless to see what it is.
Right.
If Bungie all right, here's the key. If Bungie wants to save themselves around the Anthem time, give us some type of Black Spindle quest, hidden quest that people don't know about. Where's our hidden stuff? That's what we're lacking. Yeah. This is where these guys Player Unknown and all of them are doing videos. They give out that information, them hidden information, and it draws people back into the game. Be like, oh, look, this was hidden behind this wall, and you got a special weapon. Check this weapon out.
Because they don't got none of that shit in the game.
I know they haven't done it. They need to put it in. If it's not in there, put it in now before it's too late.
I don't think we get a Destiny 3.
Ooh. I think we absolutely get a Destiny 3.
I think we get it, but why don't you think so?
I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be how we want it to be. Like Lord Ebontis says, with you. Are they gonna give you all the new content? Okay. Oh, okay. This is old content. They're making it new, right? So let's call it stripper content, right? So they're giving you all the stripper content.
It's recycled.
Yeah, because they stripped it down and they're giving it to you back, right? So they're giving you all the stripper content and they're putting it back inside Destiny 2. All right. So now, when Destiny 2 is fully realized what is going to be Destiny 1.5, right? Okay, hey. Now, are you going to get Destiny 1.5 when you make Destiny 3? Or are they going to blow up everything up and have Cade come out and say, well, we lost everything. God,
they're going to do it again. They're going to say, we lost everything.
And we ate that like cookies because he said... And they put the fool in front of the camera, and the fool said, forget all your weapons, forget your clothes, take your face, and meet me at Destiny 2.
But that's the thing, though. It has to be a blow up thing because they have to justify something.
Sovereign. If they say that in the beginning, you can hear it now on this podcast. If they say that the Vex came and they blew it up this time, and you have to defend it, I'm not buying the game. I'm not buying the game. I will buy the game year 2.
They have to justify selling you a part 3. It's not like Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, where the story continues.
That's what he's trying to say. The Vex blew everything up.
The Vex this time. No. It was after that. It's gonna be the Taken. It's gonna be the Taken. It's gonna be the Taken after that, and then after that, it's gonna be the Darkness.
If that was the case, on you buying Destiny 3, the Vex come and blow up the vault.
Well, they would delete the vault.
They got in the vault, and it deleted your
It
hard
never
drive.
existed. Yeah, the vault never existed.
Yeah.
They went back in time and they made sure vaults didn't exist.
Let's back this. We went crazy over today.
I'm telling you, I don't think it comes. I don't think so.
But I had to wrap this up. This is a great topic. Thanks everyone for Ebontis and Lord Sinister for coming through on that strong Destiny talk. But before we get into it, we can let y'all do your outros. Just the poll of the week. Let's get that, and then we'll do the outros. So the new ILP poll this week, with the tremendous success of the Switch from a sales and mindshare perspective, is Nintendo getting a pass by continuing to port or remaster Wii U games like Mario Kart, Mario Tennis, Hyrule Warriors, etc. to the Switch? A, yes, pure cash grab, no new IPs. B, no, it's smart. The majority did not buy a Wii U. Or C, don't care as long as they announce that Smash Brothers. That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote, and the Twitter polls will be up when it goes up. Shout out to Lord Sinister and Lord Ebontis on this Destiny discussion for coming through, talking gaming. Let's start off with our man Lord Sinister, his debut with Channel 5 veteran. Where can people find you? We know you're doing them streams. So what's up?
Yeah, I do a little bit of streaming here on Mixer, Sinister_X2. I'm not really on Twitter. Sometimes I'm on Twitter. It's Sinister X2 Pwns, PWNS. And always find me near or around some Channel 5 member, talking with them. Come join us, get a Nightfall in, get a raid in, whatever.
What's that Xbox Live profile? What's the profile?
Sinister X2.
All right, there we go. No doubt. We still on the mixing, still doing them Twitch streams. That's what's
here and
up. There. No doubt. Lord Ebontis, the Nightfall soloist, the hunter, my man. Where can people find you? And thanks for coming through, actually.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, always appreciate the invite, and thanks for letting me always be a part of this. It's always a little insane, which is exactly what a podcast should be. Nice and entertaining. But yeah, no, you can find me pretty much Ebontis everywhere. So EBONTIS on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all of that's pretty much the same everywhere. It's kind of a weird name, but at least the works out, so I can get something unique. And so you guys go to my YouTube channel, hit me up there. I am working on my review on all of this, so you'll hear my ramblings for probably a good half hour. I can't get a script shorter than that, so it's going to be a long one. So
it's a long one. You see how long the show went because of this one. I knew it was going to be a long show, but we had to get it all out, and we really appreciate you and your perspective and all the stuff you got cooking on the channel. So make sure you guys hit them up. Check all that good stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do these outros. Lord Addict, where can I find people? You put the sandwich down? You ready to do the outro?
No, I'm done eating. You can find me on any kind of gaming, Xbox Live, PS4. It's all room to kill. But on Steam, it's Gaming Addict. You can find me on YouTube, Gaming Addict. On any kind of media outlet, it's Gaming Addict.
No doubt, no doubt. Lord Sovereign, where can find you?
Xbox Live, PSN, BX Sovereign, and Lord Sav ILP on Twitter. Yeah, and big shout out to Sinister for finally showing his face. Round table. And Ebontis family coming back, always appreciated, man.
No doubt. You already know. And of course, the premium access gamer, Lord King. Where can people find you?
You can find me on everything. Ebontis, thank you for coming through. I had that big question for you as far as, because I really wanted to know if you soloed it, to be honest with you. And I know I don't get a chance to play with you because you play on PlayStation, and that would be me owning the game on too many platforms.
If you wander on the PC, you'll find me there too. So
I definitely can get over that. I actually got fix my PC this week. Had a power source problem. But guys, Sinister, I'm so happy that you showed up. And I had to give you a little bit of ribbon, but that's how we do. You are my brother to death do us part. That's how it goes. But great show. Had a great time with you guys, and we're gonna do it again next week. T-shirts.
Yes.
The T-shirts are coming. We're just working out the technical stuff, guys. I saw Ant post the OG T-shirt, and I had to post
retweets.
the new shirt. And I know Requeno. I know it goes perfect with that belt. Don't worry, we got this, man. We got this.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, man. It's Lord Cognito here. Again, wanted to shout out to our guests. Like I said, Lord Ebontis, Lord Sinister. You definitely be seeing them more as well. You know what I mean? This won't be the last time. It was always good to have them on the show. Yo, thanks for everyone in the chat. It was completely lit. And it actually rocking with us during the Destiny talk. I was surprised it wasn't much drop off. People rock with us. You know what I'm saying? I was impressed. I'm very proud. You know, we initially started off as a Destiny podcast. So when big things in the community happen, we like to talk about it. So again, thank you for hitting that like and that subscribe to ILP and all the Inner Circle Network media outlets, YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Make sure you check those out. Those will be going up later on this afternoon, and all that support really helps. So on that note, like I said, thanks for rocking with us. We went a little bit over. Hope everybody enjoys their Sunday, get to those playoffs games, and we're going to end this thing now. Peace.